everyone. Welcome to an episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. Here we are to listen to your every sin, everything that you've done. It's time for you to confess. It's time for a laid-back, therapeutic episode of the PCP. This is ASMR. This is
Hell no, we getting rowdy up in this piece, biatch!
We have Digi.
Self-explanatory.
We have Nate.
Self-explanatory.
We have Hippo.
Self-explanatory.
We have Ben.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be sleeping.
No, that's
right
banned, Ben.
now.
Don't you know that seems like it's been fucking banished from ever trying this podcast ever again? You know, our iconic theme song that everyone knows the words and melody to has been fucking, obliterated.
It's in the fucking new version. It's in it.
It is in it. It is literally in it.
Wait, the one with the stay-at-home mom and dad?
Yeah, if you listen close, if you open up those ears of yours,
if
you'll
you open
hear
up the
melody.
frequencies, if you open up the waveforms in Audacity, you're gonna be able to make up distant in the background. You're gonna be able to go
It
the
is
first
the instrumental.
three chords
He
of
is
it.
using the instrumental in the opening song. You can hear it.
I can't hear it. Stupid, and it's
Okay,
not
you
the
have
same,
not
and I hate
paid
it.
attention then.
I
The
hate
fault
it.
lies with you, friend, not with me.
I hate it.
Right.
Ben, you're in a grouchy mood today. What
am in a
gives?
fucking grouchy mood today. I didn't want to. I stayed up late last night, waking up a ghost. Okay, I had to summon a ghost, and it was really stupid. It made me very.
Oh
upset.
yeah, what the hell was that? You said you were going to a séance or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a seance.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a ghost in my house, you guys, or
boy.
maybe not a ghost, maybe just a spirit.
Could
Maybe-
be a low-level
maybe just-
poltergeist.
maybe
Could
not
be a
even-
demon.
maybe-
Could be an incubus.
Maybe just
Yeah.
a phenomena. Maybe just some kind of
Ben,
phenomena.
How does it feel to be a certified scientist with like a master's degree? In
It's a
a,
bachelor's.
whatever.
Feels great. Feels wonderful.
in a house with ghosts.
Well,
You're so out of your element, Ben. This house doesn't apply to you.
yeah, I'm weak to ghosts. I'm literally weak to ghost type. And you know what? They really took their toll on me. I had to sleep it off. I had to sleep off. Oh,
How late did you spend?
it's
Like-
not.
like
it's
how
not.
much
The
did you spend
time does
staying up?
not matter. The time does not matter. Just because my sleep schedule. The point is I was supposed to be sleeping through that whole period, but instead I wasn't.
okay.
It's funny you say this, Ben, because I also have been up all night. And Tom was too. I'm guessing that he passed out at some point. That's why he's not here.
He was here for like 2 seconds before
and
the
then
show
he was just
started.
like, "Fuck this! I can't
He
stay
said
awake."
like 2 words that were irrelevant. Like usual.
Yeah,
and-
free slaves, but irrelevant.
You had a seance. We had a blood sacrifice at this house because
Were you-
Tom
What's
spent.
going on with you guys? I'm the only pure Christian boy left in the
Were
PCP.
you becoming games?
Tom was setting up for our games to become even greater by building a server and streaming PC in the house, which he spent like 15 hours doing last night because of a comedy of errors, one of which was the computer slicing his finger open, and apparently it was like Kill Bill blood spraying all over the place. Like there's like dried blood in places where blood shouldn't reach from a finger. It's
No.
It's intense. Me and May were not home when this happened, so we just come home and Tom's like, "Yeah, I was bleeding
He's
for
come
20
home and
minutes while
there's
you guys
blood
were gone."
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So Ben, what are the specifics of this ghost? Like has a poltergeist invaded and started knocking down family heirlooms and
Yeah, I wanna know.
and sacred urns in a hilarious comedic fashion? Oops, my grandmother's ashes are all
More
over
or
the
less.
floor.
Listen,
Okay.
because there is a small chance that my housemates could listen to this podcast, I'm not going to say that I think they're fucking retards and,
Yeah.
for doing any of this.
I
very
will.
diplomatic
I'll
of you,
say it
Ben.
for you.
Yeah.
Your housemates are fucking retards for believing in ghosts.
Two of my
What was? Yeah,
okay,
I want to know
okay.
the whole story here.
So one guy, he was smoking on the porch one day, and he claims
The devil's lettuce.
Okay, so we had
Notable.
like a broken door, right? Like the doorknob was extremely loose and would fall off.
That's
the
the
door.
work of a ghost right there.
Well,
for sure.
Yeah, that to start. Yeah, so this
Uh-huh.
doorknob would fall off very easily. It was not held on very well. He claims that one day he was sitting out there and the doorknob just flew off the door in an arc and like landed kind of by his feet.
Okay.
And this spooked him really bad. For days, this was all he would talk about.
Jesus Christ.
Is that he witnessed
I mean, if
a
that was
paranormal
true,
event.
it would be spooky.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, sure, whatever. I get it, I guess.
Did anybody ask him if there was wind that night by chance?
We're talking about like a metal door. Look, the thing he describes, if it happened as described, would be very strange and hard to explain for the doorknob to fly off in an arc. Just the problem is like, how reliable is one sense? How do you know you didn't just see it out the corner of your eye and that's not really like, how do you know?
Of course. There's the human error is a huge factor in these
Maybe
things.
a squirrel landed on it and then jumped off. And it like propelled it off, and he saw the squirrel
No, you got
traveling
Arkham
in an
Razors
arc.
that, Digi. That's
then
too
saw
complicated. Arkham's Razor it. I am a chief philosophical mastermind. If you just strip away all the complexity, it's a ghost. That makes the most sense.
I mean,
doesn't? That's
there
the
are
simplest.
incidents in like there's one like South America where like a literal entire village claims to have witnessed some like extremely strange like solar phenomenon, but it's just like, what's more likely? God stole the sun for a minute just from this one location, or that like there was some sort of mass, I don't know, maybe it was a fucking
gas
gas
Or
leak.
gas
what's
leak.
more
I don't
simpler
know.
than that, aka less words, and it was a ghost. That's how we
Well,
Arkham's Razor.
yeah.
It just was a ghost, mate.
So there's more.
Right,
So
right.
there's more. So, obviously nobody cared about this. But then,
Right.
naturally, this was irrelevant to everything. But then a couple days, maybe 2 weeks later, my other housemate, he is a little tipsy or whatever, and he hears a bottle cap fall off of a countertop, and he looks at the ground.
And
he
screams
thinks,
as loud
"Whoa,
as fucking
there's
possible."
no way that the bottle cap could have fallen that far across the floor just from falling off."
There's just no way.
I can't help
counter-
but notice
it
that
went-
there's a
it
lot of
went like-
substance
it went
use
like
involved in
half-
these stories.
It went like halfway across the floor, you guys. Like
Well,
it
it's a
was still like
circle.
almost halfway across the entire kitchen.
Wow.
So and he didn't even touch it.
Has anyone
didn't
put like
touch
a
that
level
shit.
on the floor of this house yet to see if it's like leaning?
Maybe not a bad idea.
Or maybe it's a circle and it rolled.
So the
I mean,
point
bottle
is,
caps are pretty light.
So this convinced. I'm gonna call these. I don't know. These are
Jabronis.
whatever. These are the Ghost Bros who are both who are now convinced. And then and then we got me, and we got Big John and Little John. And Little John is like, guys, we should have a seance. We got to invite people over. We got to buy a Hasbro brand Ouija board, and we got to have a seance.
Gotta do it.
So that's what we did. And basically
fun at least.
So the yeah, it kind of was.
All right.
So the Ghost Boys are totally believing, convinced that there is a presence, there is a spirit, and the rest of us are just sitting around, just like intently pretending like this isn't the dumbest thing we've ever seen. So yeah, and so we start at the seance. We ask the ghosts. First question: one of the Ghost Bros is sitting there. Two people have their hands on the Ouija board planchette. One of the Ghost Bros is one of them. The other one's this girl who's a friend of the house. And this guy asks. He's like, is there a presence here? And the planchette moves immediately to no. So
The ghost is immediately denying his involvement in any of this
So the
stuff.
ghost answered in the negative to his own presence. Yeah, there was more. He asked it. At one point, he asked it, "Are you fucking with us?" At which point, it moves somewhat towards yes, and then he asks it, "Do you like to have fun?" And it moves strongly towards yes. What other? Oh man! And then our downstairs neighbors heard
this
about
is
this,
stupid.
and like one of the answers it gave at one point had an I in it, and she was like, "Oh my god, my dad died this last year, and his name was Irving. I for Irving. I think it was his ghost."
This is legitimately worse
So I-
than hearing about a dream.
So
right
I
now.
literally went outside and
well,
threw
yeah.
myself off of the balcony that the ghost
Yeah.
had moved the original doorknob on.
And then
maybe this was
your
his
ghost
plan.
came back and completed the seance for them.
Yeah, I answered. They asked, how can we help you move on to the next world? And I answered with a B for Ben, and that was proof
Ben,
I'm sorry. Was that a boring story?
No, that was fascinating.
I'm fascinated with the story.
You're poking a lot of fun right now, but can you
Yeah.
prove that there wasn't a ghost in your house?
I cannot.
Well, then there you fucking
there
go.
you go. Then shut the hell up and
I will.
pack
You know
it
what?
on
I
out
will.
of here.
I will.
Munchie, do
Anyway,
you believe
I'm
in
cranky.
goat?
I'm cranky,
No,
and I don't like ghosts. I ain't afraid of them.
Famously,
but I don't know why I
historically,
stayed up.
and from generations from now, apocryphy will be misquoted to all of you. But famously, I have spoken in many letters that the government is scarier than ghosts, as I
Right.
said once in a Pro Crastinators podcast very recently. And so I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in the government, which is way worse. So it's possible that the NSA, in fact, planted, an assassination attempt on your friend, and their method of choice was to fling a doorknob at his head as fast as they could. And as
Not
hard as
even
they
at his
yeah.
head. Maybe like towards his knees, kind of.
Well,
You know-
okay, listen. Okay, I'm going to guess that if your guy believes in ghosts, then he probably wouldn't go to the doctors because they would probably be, some sort of like demon incubi that would rape him in his sleep. So I'm assuming
believes-
if his knee was scraped and blood were to come out, it would probably get a staph infection. He would die. So the NSA might have better intel on
maybe.
your friend than you do, Ben. Maybe you're just a
Listen,
fucking idiot. How about that?
I live in a house. I live in a house with a weird spread, a weird melange of like people from different places on the ideological spectrum. And there's a certain segment of my house that is like weirdly apolitically what's the neoconservative with like a weirdly spiritual bent. And I think it's the worst.
That's like dubstep country like mashup.
Yeah,
God.
these are we're talking about guys who voted for Trump just to shake up the establishment and who like regularly talk about going to church and how much they like going to church, but who don't actually go to church.
I gotta.
This is the people.
I know I'm
This
gonna
is
be
the kind of
preaching
person
to
we're
the.
dealing with.
I know I'm about to preach to the choir and say a bunch of shit that's obvious, but what blows my mind whenever it's the subject of ghosts is that like you can have people who like by and large don't believe in any weird shit or superstition or ghosts, but
Yeah.
like the second they can't explain something, it's immediately ghosts.
People. Okay,
Yeah.
so little John, who was the one putting on the seance, he was telling me that like he would mention the seance to people because he wanted to invite more people over for it, and he would get split reactions. Like some people would think it was really funny, and other people would be like, "Oh no, don't do that. That's a bad idea." Like people would react negatively to it. Like
Wait, do they think it's bad because, like, oh no, don't mess with the ghost, dude?
I think, yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's
the
like
thing
like
about-
not even like I could almost understand if you were like, don't mess with your dumb friends like that. That's really
Yeah.
mean. But I don't care about
I mean,
that.
sure.
The thing about
but of
jumping
course
to
I'm gonna do it
ghosts
anyway.
that gets to me is that like ghosts are like made up by people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you could have like if
There's some biblical references to them, so maybe people are working from that partially.
if I see something like weird and inexplicable,
maybe I'm wrong.
if
But
I
there's
see
like risen dead or something, but okay.
if I see some weird inexplicable shit and I can't explain it, like why jump immediately to made up shit instead of just like, oh, there's probably like a rational thing that I just don't understand or did not observe enough. Like,
There's an answer for that. Are you aware? I forget what. There's like a name for it, I think, but there's a phenomenon that's just like after the events of like I forget what it is, but like there was like some alien conspiracy where specifically like the gray alien
Roswell?
visage became, maybe it was Roswell, but there was like something where in popular culture the gray alien depiction became like the zeitgeist, what people thought aliens looked like. Like before that, there had been some alien reports that they'd been kidnapped, but after that, like fake thing happened. Maybe it was like
Wait,
whatever.
was it that
radio
Close
story?
Encounters of the Third Kind movie?
Yeah, it might have been that. It might have been that. And after that, like all the very different types of reports about alien abduction, all very coincidentally settled in on the like gray alien depiction to describe like what their alien kidnappers looked like.
because it's a way
so
for
it's
you to
just
fill
like-
in the blanks. It's like you see a
Yeah.
kind of like with UFO sightings. It's like there's so many things that look like a floating black disc that you could see, that as soon as you mentally associate it with one thing, that's what you're gonna see. I think that's what you're trying to say.
These people,
Well,
they just
Nate.
need to watch some Vsauce and understand the basics of the human mind and how it's fallible, and learn all
can't-
funny
I mean, that's
things
true.
about
You
You
illusions
can't solve all your
and
problems with
delusions.
YouTube videos, Hippo.
I'm so fucking upset with all of you right now, Nate. You're being so ridiculous right now. So all of these people from different walks of life, all just coincidentally, are talking about the exact same type of aliens and driving the exact same way. All these different people at different points, intervals of time. That's so just a complicated, conspiracy theory, Nate. The simplest Occam's razor way is just say it's real. It's just real,
Yeah,
and they're
you're
all
right.
describing the same thing. Fucking
You're right.
idiot. You
It's
haven't even been
ghosts.
to Pole.
Occam's razor, man. You're
Yeah,
right.
Jesus Christ, come on.
Like as we define Occam's razor to mean the thing that takes the fewest words to explain.
Yeah. I mean, we could also let's just Occam's razor it to Gestalt psychology then.
Yeah, but no one knows what those words
how many?
mean.
How few letters can we possibly use?
Oh, no,
Just
okay,
it's
guys.
real.
I've got it. Yeah, real. R-E-A-L. Real. It's real.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's what our-
fake also has 4 letters though.
It's a coin toss. It comes down to a
no.
coin
It's
It's a
toss.
coin toss, yeah.
Lit
That's
everything.
why it's always split.
Everything boils down to a coin toss between fake and real.
Ben, how many people do you live at your house? Because it just seems like there's just a clown car of just constantly revolving door of just like 20 or so people who are all insane.
Okay, not counting my downstairs neighbors, because we live in like a split condo. Hold on. I want to say 6.
Whoa,
How can you
6?
not know?
If you do 3 of those, that's the mark
good
of the
question.
beast. Real.
With this Big John, Little John, the Ghost Bros, the other, the anime recluse,
Nice.
whose Indian name is Clips Through Walls, and and me.
Sick.
So I think the 6. Yeah, I think there's 6.
My Indian name is Hacks the Mainframe.
Yeah,
Can you
we're
match
modern
each of them up
Native
to a My
American.
Little Pony character?
Ooh,
I
Bad
mean, I don't
choice.
really.
That
We don't know
cheered
who
him
they
up.
are. We have
Yeah.
no way of knowing if their comparisons are accurate.
let's not do
they're
that.
okay. Well, no, we got.
They're all Queen Chrysalis. They're just
yeah,
all...
yeah.
Who's the spike of the group?
There's
Spike?
serendipity.
That's Ben, of course. That's definitely
Yeah,
Ben.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, there's serendipity, chastity, grace, serenity, firefly, and action
Lauren
adventure
Faust.
RPG video game.
There's a pony called Chastity.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. The biggest slut of the bunch.
So I can fuck her. You know what I'm saying?
What's it like living with your old roommates after living not with them for so long?
I don't know. It's good. I like it.
Why are we interviewing Ben? This
Huh?
is terrible.
Okay, hey, Hippo, how's your life going, huh? Oh, yeah, how's your life? What have you done today? Oh, yeah, that's real great, dude. That's real fucking nice. Oh, wow, Hippo, I'm
Hey.
so impressed.
Hey, wait. Speaking of which, happy birthday, Munchie.
Yeah,
Oh,
happy
yeah,
recent
whatever.
birthday.
Oh my god, you're a fucking adult, aren't you?
He's 18
Yeah.
at
was-
last.
it was-
Ah!
It was yesterday, right?
No, it was the
2 days, I
14th. Now we can release all those unreleased videos from RadCon 3. Make sure
Yeah,
to
now
donate
they've
to
become
the
they've
PC
become
Patreon.
retroactively legal.
Yeah.
You better head over to that link, the Gumroad link below. Get the backstage pass, if you know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen.
Heyo. Now I'll be the second PCB member to have their dick shown on camera.
Who was
Yeah,
the first?
True.
You.
You.
My dick's never been on camera.
Oh,
That's
okay,
all right,
okay,
if you
yeah,
say so.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
that-
about?
No one's ever seen my dick. No one ever, and no one.
I don't know
ever
if you want to
will.
get into it.
Wait, do
Don't
people
worry about
think
it.
my dick is out there on camera?
I think it
Of course
was.
not.
Like
Where-
a brief flash because you had like like holes in your undergarments.
Oh, you mean the PCP?
There was that thing.
Ah,
yeah.
yes. I forgot about that. You didn't see my whole dick though, right?
No.
I mean, I suppose not. Not the whole.
It was just
shebang.
like a piece
But you know,
of
you
dick.
gotta
part
leave a
out.
little mystery.
Little
Like my
sliver of
foreskin,
dick.
cut this off! Cut it off!
Yeah, that's right. Destroy this whole piece.
Why?
right.
I don't know. If you don't care, I don't care.
All right, let's get
Why
this
would I
on
care?
track.
It's not even. It's not available. Nobody can find it.
I mean, I assume somebody downloaded it. You know.
And enlarged it and enhanced it.
Hey,
and now
Hippo,
they're
save us.
hanging
Save
on
us
their
with your
walls.
podcasting skills.
All right, my podcasting skills. Hey guys, welcome to another Let's Play. I'm gonna
Hey,
play
have you been
Minecraft today.
sick recently
Hey.
or at school and not
Hey.
been able to release a video?
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I wanted
both
to know.
Yeah,
to those.
are you sorry that your voice sounds a little weird because you
I'm
had a cold
sorry.
recently?
I'm sorry, guys. They haven't made a video in a while.
Guys,
So,
when did you first realize that you had wasted your life? At what point did you realize this?
today.
Just now, actually, listening to you ask me that question.
You know, I realized I was wasting my life. It was in college after my girlfriend broke up with me, and before I went to Japan, and then I fixed it, and it was pretty good. Actually, there was actually a second round. It was after I got back from that, and I was before I started doing any YouTube stuff. When I was just going through my shitty schooling and stuff, that sucked. But then it got better, so that's cool.
Hey, have you guys heard of this? You guys heard of this Hispanic comedian, Guzlin
George Lopez.
Despera? Guzlin Despera.
No,
Have you heard
no.
this Hispanic comedian called Munchie Shatsky?
How about Guzlin Disparity's nuts, bitches?
Wait,
Yeah.
say that name again. Guzlin.
Say it.
Guzzlin Dispera? Is that it?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so I'm guzzling this pair of nuts. Is
Yeah,
what I'm.
that's correct. Yeah, that's what you are doing.
Pretty good. I like these. I like this new meme of names that make people retarded.
I like this new meme of the past 10 minutes, all of us desperately trying to come up with something to say, and then two people talking about nervously chuckling to one another. The other people are just fucking panicking right now, just sweating, just sweat like bullets off their fucking forehead. Like, okay, it's okay. They're filling up time. Okay, oh fucking think.
All right, I've got one. I've got a topic.
That comes courtesy of Big John, who, by the way, Big John and Little John are comparably sized with one another.
Okay.
I just want to put that out.
Is it a question of personality? Who fills the room with their charisma?
It's more like Big John is older and was here first.
Pokemon
so
Go.
big.
Here we go. Pokemon Go
Yeah, let's do
topic.
it.
I have a thing to say.
Pokemon Go podcast, PGP. Everybody,
Yeah,
welcome
because that's the only thing that I'm constantly doing that isn't just, hey guys, I'm working. It's like Pokemon Go. There was a new update where they have allowed, for a short period of time, you can send gifts to friends and stuff, and sometimes you get like a special Alolan egg that takes like 7 kilometers to open. And recently, they updated it for like a Gen 1 special event where they try to get everybody to complete their Gen 1 Pokedex by releasing all the Pokemon, all the legendaries are in raids, and all the Gen 1 Pokemon are all over the place. But the thing they did that made me really mad and rawr, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna kill, is that they made the Gen 1 region exclusives available in these eggs, so that people don't have to go around the world to catch them anymore. They can just wait
I heard
for them
about
to
this
be
on
appear.
a video by some YouTuber called Give and Take.
No, you didn't. This is the first and only place you will hear about this exclusive news dropped like months after it's stopped being relevant. But like, it just got me thinking about like how video games are like, people feel entitled, because I had a lot of people in that comment section of that video by Give and Take where
That you didn't make.
that I didn't make, and
Yeah.
they were arguing about like my point that it was bad that this was happening, and they were saying, oh, but what about the people who can't travel? What about the
It's
people
good.
who...
It's good
Yeah.
because now I can get the thing that I couldn't get before.
Right.
Yeah, their argument basically boiled down to, but I want it. Why can't I
Yeah.
have it?
Yeah.
And it
whole
just
point,
made me so annoyed.
I don't understand where these people, like, who exists that literally cannot travel ever? Like, if you're just like, I'm 15, I can't travel, you'll be 18 in 3 years, you can get it then. Like,
Okay, to
hold
be
on
fair,
a second.
to be fair, if you want to get all the region exclusive, you will have to go to if you have to go to the places, you have to go to Japan, You'll have to go to Europe.
Yeah.
You'll have to. Let's say you live in America, so whatever, you're there. Where else? Do you have to go like South America?
This should
for
give you
something?
something to strive to, all
The
right?
thing is-
Yes, it's expensive to fly to Japan.
Yeah.
That means you should bust your ass and get a job and work
No, see,
really hard and save up your money so you can
I
get
agree.
that goddamn far-fetched.
In terms of opportunity costs, like I would argue that like the time spent getting a full Pokédex other than the region exclusives is like way bigger. Like it's a huge commitment.
And especially now with trades, it's not even that you have to go there. You can just meet someone who's been there. And how great is that? You'll be able to meet someone in real life. You can't trade over online. So you'll meet someone in real life just down the street or, at your local park or something. And you'll ask, oh, where'd you get this Farfetch'd? Oh, well, I was in Japan. I was serving in the standing Japanese army during 1943. And you're like, wow, you must have done some real nice things. And he was like, yeah, I did. And he got the Farfetch.
Wait, was that like a rape of Nanking joke?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good. I was just checking.
I say it every time about this stuff, but this 100% comes down to just different conceptions of how the world should be. Like, if you're like a 15-year-old kid, like obviously you don't have a lot of money right now, and you want to complete your Pokedex, you're gonna be like bummed out that you don't have enough money to like go to Japan
you're already
to get
5
Farfetch'd.
years late to start your Pokemon journey.
I mean, okay, fair enough. But like, so you'll want to do it, but like, it'll be hard, and it'll be like you'll have to find someone online, and like what I'd like this person to do is like go online, research, find people in their area who like maybe have been there, and like kind of. I want them to rise to the occasion, but a lot of people don't want to do that. They just want to, have things lowered down to make it easy for them to do it. Which I get.
Find someone who's got a phone from that. Like, just buy phones from people who've collected the Pokemon from those regions. There you go.
I want to know. I want to know how many of these people, have a full Pokedex aside from the region exclusive. I'm gonna bet none. I'm gonna bet zero.
I've heard the argument simply. So this is a well-rounded piece of conversation here. I've heard the argument that the game has been out for so long that all the people who would have been able to get the regionals would have got them already, which I think is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Literal horse shit. Like I just said, you're 15,
even if
grow
it was...
up 3 years, and in 3 years you'll be able to potentially do it. And I mean, not that you're limited by being 15 necessarily, but like...
Even if it was literally impossible for you to ever go to Japan or meet anyone from Japan and get that Lapras, who cares?
Yeah, I really come back to the who cares. Guys, there's a problem. Like, people have a huge problem with the fact that the world is in fact hierarchical. People hate that, and they think it's unfair. But I'm sorry.
It's not even a matter of hierarchy to me so much as just that this is what the conceit of the game is. Like, it's not that being able to travel makes you a better person. It's just that this is what the game's purpose is. It's maybe not meant for people who don't travel. Like,
it's almost like it's a social game that's meant for you to travel to different places to catch different types of Pokemon. It's almost like that's the goal of the game.
I do sympathize with people who are like, let's say they're really poor, but they have a smartphone with Pokemon Go somehow. But okay, fine. I'm sure that could happen in some cases. I do feel for those people, but I just care so much more about preserving like the ability of people to like challenge themselves and like accomplish things and like obtain greatness by working really hard and like getting exclusive things. I know this is a silly example of a Pokemon Go game, but that's so much more important to me than like making sure everyone gets the fucking participation trophy of a fucking gimme Pokemon.
And I just need to reiterate, because this is not like these are all great points, but this is not an issue of you having to go to Asia anymore. You literally don't. Google search like the name of your city, Pokemon Go Discord. Boom, you will have like 30 fucking people who will have like thousands of the Pokemon that you want. Meet up with someone in real life at a nice sunny park, actually play the game, engage with people socially, and you'll be able to get the Pokemon you want for like a high amount of Stardust. Who cares? You don't have to spend literally any money.
Like, I'm sure there's people who are really frustrated by the fact that, like, there's no online trading, so they can just, like, do it all from home. But that is not what the game is. That is not what the game is.
That's not the point of the game, is to sit in your home. The point is to go out and walk around.
I'm still, like, completely baffled by spoofers. Like, the idea of playing the game Like, there was this
why?
one time when I was like, there was a raid, and it was a 5-star raid, and I was by myself, and there was no one around. I was like,
Yeah.
well, let's just jump in and see what happens. I'm not gonna win, but, whatever. I jump in, and then, like, 17, like, level 40 spoofers jump in, out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get this guy.
Yeah.
And it turns out that these level 40 spoofers, just like, I guess they have like a program that jumps into people, to raids that are currently, like, have people in them, to
Yeah.
leech off of the the battle, because none of them were actually doing anything. They were just sitting there hoping that, whatever group had started the raid would complete it, and then they would catch
What
the Pokemon.
in the fuck is a
that's-
spoofer?
It is a
spoofer
person who
someone
plays Pokemon Go indoors, like, with a program that allows them to
Yeah,
cheat
they
and
emulate
go
it.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's like the whole idea of Pokemon Go, like, if you strip away the walking outside and the experience of being like catching Pokemon in real life and being an explorer and moving and walking and doing all that stuff, it's not really that good a game that, like, you just tap the
Yeah.
screen and you
is
throw
there
the
a
ball.
monetary benefit to doing this?
No,
No.
I
You could
mean,
sell your account,
technically,
possibly, maybe?
I guess
'Cause
people
that's-
might do that.
Because it makes me think about how, like, in World of Warcraft, there's like a lot of
Yeah.
botting
Yeah.
and shit like that, just for the sake
could
of
do
selling
that.
accounts. And
Okay. Niantic has specifically, like, engineered their trading system in in trying to make it so that, like, World of Warcraft Steam markets can't exist, which I think personally, as a Team Fortress 2 trader, is fucking gay as hell, and it's literally the funnest thing about any video game ever, is spending real life money to buy like ones and zeros that make your character look cooler. I think that's literally the funnest part of Team Fortress 2. So I'm fucking upset
Wait,
that
wait.
there is no underground market for like
I
sending
mean,
Pokemon
sure, but
out.
those markets are like super illegal and unregulated, and like,
Yeah, it's
Are they
great. It's
illegal?
fucking cool,
I mean,
dude.
it's all like untaxed purchases going back and forth. So
Yeah, okay.
know.
I mean, I know, like, the gambling side of things, there has been,
like, I'm
much
sure that
discussion about.
the reason those companies don't want this to happen is because they don't want the government to start telling them they have to do something to regulate it.
Of course.
And so they're just like, fuck it, we'll make it so they can't.
Yeah,
Selling
well,
hats,
Since Hippo brought up the video game I don't give a shit about and know nothing about, I'm gonna talk about, just to you, Nate. I started playing Final Fantasy IX. And
great.
I started
Fantastic.
playing Final Fantasy VI, so fuck you. I'm in this conversation too now.
And I ruined it. I ruined it for myself immediately with fucking Tetramaster.
Oh, yeah, that'll, if I remember correctly, I think Tetramaster was my favorite card game, though it might be the one from 8.
I
Tri-
remember I played the one from
whatever.
8 a lot more, but I never actually beat 9. So
Oh, yeah.
I
got
didn't
more
know
but go
the
on.
games
generally.
like regularly
Yeah.
had card games in them.
They do.
Because I
they
never
do.
tried them when I
Well,
played these when I was a teenager.
I
Tetramaster.
guess I don't know anything past like 11. So
Tetramaster's a fucking nightmare, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So here's what happened to me. So for anyone who doesn't know what
Triple
this
Triad,
is,
that's the one from 8.
in
Sorry,
in
go
Final
on.
Fantasy IX, there is this card game that you can play with like half of the fucking NPCs in the game. Like you
Yep.
just walk up to them and press X, and you'll just start up this very bizarre, like, I guess.
Oh, wait, that's the 8 one.
I
My
guess I would
mistake.
describe it as like
Rolling,
Go,
rolling.
like the Japanese game Go, but with
Yeah,
cards.
little bit.
kinda.
Right.
And the thing is that the game
It's kinda like
deliberately
dominoes.
doesn't tell you any of the fucking rules of the game.
No, it doesn't.
Like
Not
it,
a one.
It purposefully keeps it obscure, and at first I thought that was kind of neat, and I was like, oh, I'll learn the game through playing it.
Meanwhile, getting all your fucking cards taken
Yeah, so,
by the
so
enemies.
the way this
Yeah.
game works is that if you lose, the enemy takes one of your cards, and if you win, you take one of their cards. But so if you're just trying to figure out the fucking rules of the game, and almost everyone is stronger than you, then
Yeah.
you can literally lose enough cards that you can never play the game again. Like, if you have...
You can get cards later, but I mean, yeah, you can fuck yourself up real bad.
So I didn't really start engaging with the game until I got to
save
Lindblum,
scum
and by
You
that
literally
point,
just save scum.
like, the enemies were all too strong, and I didn't understand the game. So I was just like, man, I feel like I should have like collected a shitload of cards at the start of the game and just hoarded them so that I could have like
Yeah.
a buffer of stuff I could lose. So I started the game over. And like in the beginning part where you're playing as Vivi, I got my 5 cards and I just started challenging this one dude over and over again and just like just raking him for. I had like 30 slimes and all I would use is slimes in every battle. I was doing this for like an hour and a fucking half. Flans, I mean. And so I'm just like I'm trying to take this guy's whole deck, which I don't think you can actually do. I'm not sure.
Probably not.
But I'm just taking this guy's cards for a long time, and finally, like, I start challenging other people and immediately getting my ass kicked, and I'm just like, what is this game? So I finally I'm like, I'm gonna look up the fucking rules. I'm just gonna read them, and then I read all the rules, and I'm like, oh, it's a nightmare. It's like not only is the game extremely complicated, but like
I remember correctly,
there's like cards that there's only one of in the game.
And, absolutely.
And if you get that card, you're gonna have to use it eventually to get other cards that there's only one of. And if you were to lose that card in a match, you have to then win it back in the next match, or else it will just be gone forever.
That's right. That's correct.
And you will never complete your card deck. And completing the card deck is considered like the most like difficult task.
It's prestigious. It's prestigious for sure.
So when I found all that out,
if you basically imagine playing Final Fantasy IX, not even like to save the world or do any of like the stuff. It's just you're in there to become Seto Kaiba and have all 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons.
That's
and
one of the things I love about the
one.
Final Fantasy games, the PS1 ones.
Well, that's the thing about it's really frustrating because in Final Fantasy they always put in something that like there's like a challenge that would be fun, except that there's that one thing that's so fucking impossible that like you're just like there's no way it would remain fun. Like as soon as I read what Tetra like the full rules and like what to expect, I was like, this will obviously stop being fun at some point, so I should just stop now before I get disappointed.
I mean, that's fair.
You know,
though there is a tournament I think you have to compete in at some point in the game. Do you have to compete in it? I think you do. I can't remember.
In Final Fantasy X, for example, there's like if you go back to certain towns, you have to fight like insanely powerful versions of the Aeons. And like the only way you're going to have a chance is if you have the ultimate weapons for your characters. But to get one of the ultimate weapons involves dodging 100 consecutive lightning bolt strikes in this one place, and predicting them and dodging them is nigh impossible because the controls are not built for this. So like, and you have to do it 100 times in a row.
I did it. It was
you actually did that?
Of course I fucking did it.
How long did it take you?
I mean, the time I did it was like when it first came out, when I first played the game. I mean, it took me hours. It took me a couple hours to get it done.
Just a couple hours? I spent a couple hours trying to dodge 10 in a row.
Damn. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it gives you some warning with like the rumble of the thunder or something.
I'm sure dodging 100 lightning bolts sounds really hard to some people, but we live in a post-Undertale world. I spent 6 hours beating Sans. There's nothing that I can't do.
I mean, it's
as a white male in America who beats Sans, there's literally nothing society will stop me from doing.
Did you also beat the jump rope mini game with Vivi and 9?
Oh, there's progressive difficulties. I don't think I ever beat the topmost one. I beat like the 50 instead of like 200 or whatever the top one is. But yeah, that's that one was pretty tough too. That one I just got fed up with because like the reward I looked up and it like wasn't that great, so I didn't worry about it that much.
All the rewards are cards.
Cards, yeah. Okay, there you go. It was fun though. I mean, I love that Final Fantasy puts in that kind of stuff, and you have the freedom to fucking do it or not. I mean, that's some of the reasons why I love those games so much.
I really wish they made it more, and like with the Tetra Master, it's fine because it's like its whole other own world. But I also wish, because it is actually fun, that like there was a version of it that wasn't a huge pain in the ass. You know,
I hear that's what Gwent is for Witcher 3 people. Yeah, they just love playing that game so much. But I would say that Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII, I have to say, is the best. It's fairly simple, and it's the best of any of the Final Fantasy minigames, which is why, incidentally, just unrelatedly, I'm real sad that Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10, and 12 are all being ported to Switch, but notably 8 is just being ignored and skipped.
That's hilarious.
What?
They're skipping 8. They're just skipping 8. Also, it's coming to like Xbox and probably
I never
PS4
understood.
and something.
I never really understood. People shit on 8.
They sure do.
Like it's like I don't know. Would you say it's like a dark horse in that like era? I feel like
it's the most oppressed race in all of
feel
gaming.
like it's the
Final Fantasy VIII fans.
Somehow I feel like it's even less popular than 10.
10 is
Absolutely.
awesome.
10 is beloved. 10 is beloved.
Is it? I don't know.
I played it recently, and I literally plotted out an entire book I wanted to write about it. That's how excited I was about 10.
That's
Why?
dope. Hey, did I ever tell you?
I didn't like
Awesome.
10 as much.
The
I think 8
first-
is superior to 10 for me, but whatever.
Just reminds me, the first
It's,
brain
I liked it more than
embiggening.
9 too. There, I said it.
Oh, all right, fine. The first brain embiggening panel I ever went to at an anime convention was something called like Final Fantasy X and like Tidus in the role of Ubermensch or like something like that. And it was just about how Tidus is like,
God.
yeah, it was pretty dope. It was very brain.
I will say
large.
my analysis does not incorporate such elements. I don't.
Okay, all right.
Such elements. Tita's being the.
Yesterday I went out. Yesterday, that scene makes sense in the game. By the way,
yeah.
Dude,
I
people
agree.
meme that scene so
that scene
ridiculously
is
hard.
like deliberately misunderstood.
Jason Arnold, or whatever his name, James Arnold Taylor, the voice actor, he himself on his
Jonathan
own YouTube
Taylor
channel,
Thomas?
like a decade later, James Arnold Taylor, he made a video like just clarifying like in extensive detail, and he pulls out the script he was given from Square when he recorded the game, and shows an explicit detail, like all the reasons why it was intended to be forced. And guys, you are not.
You should be able to tell that immediately by watching the scene.
I know people don't actually know.
It's
what they're looking
Spoonie's
at.
fault. Spoonie made fun of it.
It is Spoonie's
and
fault. It is Spoonie's
he
fault.
fucking didn't get it because he didn't like the game and he's retarded.
Because I mean, that's Spoonie being very nostalgia critic by just misunderstanding what that like scene
Bad faith
is
criticism.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
you know,
So-
Spoonie's dead, and nostalgia critic is disgraced. So it looks like those hacks got what was coming to him, just like we all will one
We're in
day.
the-
That's true.
It's
yeah.
coming.
First they came for nostalgia critic, and I said nothing.
And I said nothing. Then it came for Spoonie, and I enjoyed it and laughed.
Yeah.
So yesterday,
And I thought, hey, this is just getting better and better.
yesterday at long
I
last.
can't wait for the next one.
God damn it, Ben! Why are you laughing so hard at this? Yesterday I went out to the local game stores, the local big used game stores, finally, which are amazing out here in Boston land.
Oh, cool.
I went in search of Melee. You can't find Melee anywhere.
I'll give you Melee
Fucking
for the price.
Mewtwo King bought every copy in the world. He's hoarding them right now.
Just like Seto Kaiba, he's got all the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
That's true.
What I did, however, impulse purchase was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, and then 6 hours later found out that
That's
they
getting
literally
ported, yeah.
that day announced a port to the Switch.
Dude, online play for Crystal Chronicles. Come to the fucking Switch or whatever.
Does it have
let's
couch
fucking play.
multiplayer?
Does it have what?
Does it have couch multiplayer?
You know, I don't know. Probably, but I mean, the Switch is built for couch multiplayer, but I didn't check. I'm not sure.
And I'm very glad that
Google it.
I did not do what I almost did and buy several Game Boy Advance SP link cables because I didn't think I had enough Game Boys. Because for those who don't know, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles has the worst local multiplayer of all time.
Right.
Where it requires everyone to have a link cable for their GBA to the GameCube. So that you can have a map screen on the GBA screen. And one of the players has to carry the crystal chalice at all times. So
Right, that's right.
So it's like a little, like basically you have to fight within this little circle that is surrounding this chalice, and one of the players just has to carry the fucking chalice, and that's all you get to do. But like you can have 4 players play this game, but one of them is always stuck with the chalice.
By the way, I'm just looking it up. Local multiplayer has not been confirmed, but online.
But here's the
has,
hilarious.
so.
I was looking this up and I found out that you can play the game with GameCube controllers as long as you have the Game Boy Advance link cable plugged in when it loads the level, and then you can swap it out for a GameCube controller and play it perfectly fine.
So what you're telling me is they really just were doing this to push system sales of GBAs or something.
Yeah, I mean, big time.
okay.
It was for the link cable. This is also why Four Swords Adventures happened. These are like around the
Right.
same time, and then they horribly bombed, and so they did not do this again.
Digi, you know what we should do is you and me should do a playthrough of Kirby's Amazing Mirror. Is what we should do next.
I want to play
sure.
that too. That's my literal favorite Kirby game. That is the best one.
What do you mean
That's
by?
It's 4
the
players.
GBA, right?
It's 4-player multiple
Oh,
GBAs.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I mean, I guess if we all meet up in a place and we all have GBAs and link cables, that
When
can
are we
happen.
gonna do another Radcon?
Never. It's banned.
When are we gonna do another games? I want to play video games with my baby.
We should do a Shekels for Heckles for Crystal Chronicles when it comes out. It's a Final Fantasy game I've never played. I played some of there's like sequel Crystal Chronicles games, but I never
good.
played the original one.
I've got
Yeah.
Well, because I've played. I mean, I bought it again. I had it when I was
Right.
younger. It doesn't play anything like any Final Fantasy game. It's just an action RPG.
Yeah, I know.
With like the level. It kind of just puts you in a level that's like 20 minutes long, and usually you just gotta like solve a couple puzzles and fight a bunch of enemies and get to the end, and it's just a pleasant little happy time. But it's got really cool character designs and great music, great art design.
But what about the Chalice? I thought the Chalice just was terrible.
Well,
Someone's on
if you're
bitch
playing
duty, I
on
guess.
single player, then you've just got a Moogle that carries it around for you. So it's not even a big deal on single player mode. On multiplayer, it's just a bad game.
Okay, cool.
But on single player, it's perfectly fine. And then I also bought Phantasy Star Online, which is the greatest game of all time.
Word.
There's been a lot of video games going around
when
lately.
is my-
It's like arrows flying over your head in the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland. It's just like constantly.
When is
Video
my
game, video game, video game.
when is my stupid Switch owning roommate going to stop being a coward and buy Splatoon 2? He's got.
You could buy it.
Yeah.
I could. He's got Zelda. Great.
Lame.
He's
Stupid.
got Mario
Zelda.
Odyssey.
Lame.
Stupid.
But he doesn't have Splatoon
Blown the fuck
2.
out by Joseph Anderson. No thanks.
Ben, you know you could just come over here and play it, because Tom has a Switch. And
That's true.
I'm fairly sure he has
shit.
Splatoon 2 because he really loves Splatoon.
Maybe I'll do that. You wanna? Maybe I'll come over there and be Splatoon 2.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Good idea.
I recently started playing Metal Gear Solid 1 with my friends, and
Wow.
it
Hell
was
yeah.
it was like totally like the I clapped when I saw it experience, and like willingly and happily whenever we like saw any sound effect or character, we just were like, I know Solid Snake.
Yeah. That's the peak experience.
And then when we heard the brand, we just like jumped up from our seats and just clapped as hard as we fucking could at like every single thing that we could. We did. My friend's mom can testify. We were fucking tearing up the house to see
Just
Metal
every
Gear happen.
time a new asset appeared on screen.
What happened when you saw my Japanese animes?
Okay. Like me and my friend Leif, we knew we basically know like what is up
Yeah.
with Metal Gear to an extent. My friend Kyle, Notorious Furry, and I've called that many times on the show, bitch. Did not know. So the entire time me and Leif were building this the fuck up, saying like Kyle, it's you. You're gonna be on screen soon. It's gonna be you. Then
hell
Anton started
yeah.
pissing his pants, and then we jumped up and we started making fun. Like Kyle, this is you. You're a bitch. Fuck you. And it was great. It was something like that. It was a great
Thoroughly
time.
owned.
Yeah, we just beat the tank guy. It was a horrible
Yes,
experience.
Vulcan Raven.
The game is scary and awful, and it makes it's like migraines but visually.
Have you
not
gotten
to
to the part where you have to machine gun down dogs yet?
No. We started to play the first Metal Gear game, and that was a trip. That was
the NES one?
I didn't used to emphasize with prisoners of war in Poland being reduced to gulags and forced labor, but now I do after playing one video game, and I understand what it was like for them. It was a great time, and too bad the PS3 we're playing on is gone forever. Because Kyle moved away, and everyone's moving away, and this is the part of my life that's in movies, and it's happening right now.
Oh, they're going to
all my
college
friends are
now,
gone.
huh?
Yeah, all my friends are gone.
It's like that.
Oh, that's
that
a-
It'll
Well,
happen
experience.
again. This will happen again when you start to get like
It's-
50 or 60. Only this time they're all moving to
Munchie,
hell.
it's literally
Yeah.
your favorite Green Day song. The one
Dude, I want to let you know that literally that night was the last time I saw Kyle, and for the entire car ride home, we fucking blasted Good Riddance
Yeah.
as loud as we could and screamed the lyrics.
The
We
lyrics,
just
which are as
screamed
follows: "Tell me why you have to go make things so complicated. See the way you act
acting like somebody else gets me frustrated. I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Everyone does.
I love the gorillas.
It's crazy. Everyone's leaving. I thought it was a joke that people said, like, "Oh, your friends are gonna leave," and I was like, nah. And then here they are.
They're all gonna go off to become Borders managers.
You got to do what I do, Munchie. Establish an organization that entraps the people that you want to keep nearby with monetary incentives.
Yeah, financially.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's the only way. You gotta bait the hook. You gotta bait the hook. Keep them around. Otherwise,
that's the only. Otherwise, what do you want to be lonely? What do you want to be abandoned?
Yeah, exactly.
Watch the fuck out. It's this or nothing.
I've got a topic that was kind of brought up.
No, you don't.
I do. It was brought up via. Well, I was reminded of it because a couple of things. Munchie was talking about Pokemon Go, and Isabelle got confirmed for Smash, which is cool. And there is a connection. And it's that she's a dog, and it's that I got a dog. I got a dog recently.
I saw that you got a dog.
I've been keeping it under wraps.
On Twitter.
I have a dog.
You got a dog.
I have a dog.
This is the happiest I've ever become on a PCP episode.
And his name is Lord Sesshomaru. Is his full name?
No,
Yep.
come on.
That's his full name. So
That's
you gotta
crazy.
Call him,
Your
call him
dog
that.
is Lord Sesshomaru, and my cat is Kilala.
Kilala. I thought of that
I
too.
fucking can't even believe it. The Inuyasha permeates the culture.
So what do you say when you're calling the dog? Like,
when I'm calling it, we call him Sessho. We call him Sessho. Come here, Sessho.
You gotta call him Seshi.
Okay.
That was the fangirl nickname for Sesshomaru.
Oh, is that true? Okay, good to know. Good to know. Probably mix that one in there too. Yeah, he's a great guy.
What kind of dog is he?
Oh, okay, get this. He looks like a small German Shepherd or a German Shepherd combined with a Chihuahua, but in actuality, he is half Beagle, half Welsh Corgi.
I see.
It's
I was
very
gonna say
strange.
He's a min pin, but no, he's just a freak.
He is a
so
freak.
weird genetic slurry.
Yeah.
Indeed, that's him.
Isn't
That's
it
him.
funny what we've done to dogs as a race? I just sit back and laugh.
Just messed him
He
right
actually,
the fuck up.
we got him from the SPCA or whatever, like the shelter, and he had recently, like within like a couple of weeks, gotten his balls removed, and he still has a dangling empty ball sack. And it is quite horrific. It's just nightmarish to think about, really.
Wait,
I feel
why,
so bad for him.
Why do they? Why does he just have the sack and not the balls?
Well, apparently the sack like shrinks into the body, or like it goes away to some degree at some point. Yeah.
Thank God.
Erasing all traces of sexuality. Thank God.
My dog has a literal genetic dysfunction where he has a boner 100% of the time.
Is that
and
true?
We're told it's painful. Yeah.
That sounds real. You got to help him out, dog. You got to help him out,
they say
Munchie.
you're supposed to go to the hospital after a mere 4 hours.
Yeah.
Not
Consider an entire lifetime.
It really gets in the way of new dates.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, if anyone out there wants to make fan art, I've got a picture in my mind of I am, Rin, the little girl who hangs out with Lord Sesshomaru. That's me. The dog is Lord Sesshomaru, and Michelle is that little gremlin Jackin who hangs out and just dances and does kind of Jewish shanties around to announce Lord Sesshomaru's
Nate,
presence.
I demand that you become a basic bitch and send us cute dog photos on a regular basis.
Don't do that. You
Do
need to
not
make
do
it.
that.
If you do that, you better make a fucking containment chat.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't want to see that
with
shit.
Dog? Why? What's
Munchie,
wrong with you guys?
Look, Munchie, I saw one picture of the dog. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm
Not kidding about
I have
this.
seen none, and I get it. And I didn't even hear
Yeah.
it described. I got up to piss before he started describing it, so I wouldn't have to hear it.
Well,
Nate, I
fair
want to
enough.
see dog photos.
I just
wanna
thought
see
it was an
dog
interesting
photos.
change in my life because actually I feel a ton of responsibility now, and
Yeah.
it's a huge burden in the good way. Just something I have to worry about
What's it like
now.
being able to try and raise a child? This is the basic training.
So far, so good. So far, so good.
Does he hate you yet?
He doesn't hate me yet, but he's building up to it. I can see it in his eyes.
He's building up to
he's waiting to spring that on me at my weakest moment. But it's good. Sessho's he's a good lad, but I'm waiting for him to go back.
How old is he? How old is he?
Oh, he's just under a year, so he's like a year old. So he's basically
Okay.
full grown. He's like small.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Okay. I wasn't
25
sure if he was a
pounds.
puppy or
Is
not.
he for leisure or for pleasure?
He's wait, those are
he's
similar.
No, he's for farm use.
Yeah.
yeah, he's pulling the
He's
plow.
not for
Well,
pleasure.
I don't know. Maybe you need a guard dog. I know you live in Cincinnati, which is a nightmare.
That's true. He's for pleasure. He's for my pleasure. Indeed. Anyway, that's about it.
pleasure
I would
dog.
say probably I'll post pictures on Instagram if anywhere else. So I mean, you can follow
Yeah.
me there if you care to. So there you go, people.
Munchie, did you not know that I already have a dog, and I
No.
also post
Sunny. Sunny the dog.
Wait! I didn't know you post images.
on Instagram and sometimes Twitter.
I don't follow any of your Instagrams, so I don't use Instagram.
Same.
It's
should-
it's a
yeah,
good
I
place to
shouldn't blame you.
put dogs and cats.
It's where normie things go. Normie things go on Instagram. That's how I think of it.
I don't have any normie things. The most normie thing I did this week was have a fucking seance in my house.
Yeah.
Fucking, I went for a walk
Mm-hmm.
because it was late and I forgot to spin my Pokestop for the day. Haha.
Of course,
very funny.
gotta hit that.
And I went out and it was dark, and Luna, my cat, decided to come with us as she sometimes does.
Aw.
Walking like, it's very strange if you've ever had a cat walk with you, like go on a walk with you. We were going through the park. Cats like to go where they think you're going, so she would like wait for a bit and then gallop like as fast as she possibly could, like at Mach speed, like 100 meters in front of us, and then turn around.
So you
and
can
wait
like
for
take
us.
your cat out and she'll like follow you around.
Yeah, it's weird. I think what she does, I think it's she saw that we take the dog for a walk, and like in part of her is like, I want to be included in that. So when she's outside and we go outside, she jumps out from the bushes and says, "I'm coming with you." And
Well,
it's
she
very
speaks in perfect
That's
English,
actually amazing. I lived with a cat. I lived with a cat who was the opposite of that. Who, if the door was ever opened, she would bolt and just run.
Sounds like a captive prisoner.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
dude.
no comment.
Is it? How do we know that this person isn't what Peter Pettigrew was in Harry Potter, which was a transmogrified human attempting to seek escape?
Listen, I tried to put a harness and
Oh my
a
God.
leash on this cat.
cats don't like
and
that.
Impossible.
It was the scariest thing that ever happened.
Jesus Christ. Well, all right.
She went completely ballistic. Like trying to get it off was a nightmare too, because she just like ran into a corner, like traumatized by the fact that she was wearing a thing. I tried to walk her into the backyard, and like it was going okay for like 2 seconds, and like for 2 seconds there was like a solid hope, like, oh, maybe she's over it, maybe she can like walk around on this little cat harness and a little leash.
Wait, okay.
Until I stepped on a twig, and she went nuts and like flew up to the end of the leash and was like, bah! It was like spun around on the leash like a tether ball, like a taut tether ball on a cord.
I must
just,
have missed
you
something.
know.
Were you attempting exposure therapy on this cat by trying to get her like acclimatized to like being outside that she wouldn't run away?
Yeah, I was trying.
Sounds like it, right?
The idea was to try and like get her used to wearing this harness so she could be taken on catwalks.
Makes sense, relatively.
Yeah, but
Well, that was
it
a failure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
complete
But hey,
failure.
I just wanted to say that about this Pokemon Go thing. I just love Pokemon Go because I'll go walk with Sesho and we'll just walk. It's a little bit of a longer walk, but I'm kind of glad. It gets me out and doing stuff all the way down to the Pokestop on the end of the road, and I hit that, and then I walk back, and it's a great time, and I love doing it. And I'm happy to have an excuse to go do more things. So I'm getting over the initial anxiety of getting a new responsibility in this dog and getting way into just the benefits, and I'm
Nate,
raking them in.
This is just
this dog's paying dividends.
Yeah,
this is just such a perfect breeding grounds for fatherly attributes. You can test out the dad joke, are you a Pokemon Seshu? Literally every single time you walk her to get the exact perfect cadence so that you can torment your kids every day of their lives.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And I look forward to doing so.
I can't wait for the day when Pokemon Go is an old man thing and I'm still doing it.
Hey, by the
Like
way,
all the kids are hip and they don't do it and they think
that'll
it's
be
gay.
great. That'll be
all
great.
the kids, by then all the kids are playing Fortnite Go. They're all walking around with VR headsets or
And
whatever.
shooting
I
each
don't know.
other.
Listen to this though.
Yeah,
This was
shooting each other.
this was absolutely incredible to me. So like when we're actually getting Sesho, it was crazy. So we go to the SPCA or whatever it's called, the dog place, and we like look at all the dogs. And Sesho was by far the what was it? The cutest and the
thickest.
strongest dog in the whole place. And so we're like, okay, he seems like this kid's going places. So we like get him, and then we go up to the desk, and I'm like, all right, what's the damage? How much for this fucking piece of shit asshole dog? And they're just like, with that plus a collar and the leash, that'll come down to, and they're like bracing me for it. They're like, $56. And I'm like, this is like a life we're talking about. It's only $56. Okay, and then they hit me with this bombshell. They're like, okay, but there's something you need to know. And I'm like, oh shit, what's it gonna be? You can have this. There is a 30-day return policy, and if you are one fucking fraction of a split fucking second late beyond this 30-day policy, and you bring this dog back anytime, we will not take it back without paying the fee. And I'm like, what's the fee? $14. 14. I was just like, guys, relax. That's
How
and like, by
fucking-
the way, you can just leave a dog there for free. So like, why do you even have to pay anything?
Wait,
I don't know.
You can leave a dog there for free, but you
Yeah.
can't return a dog.
I mean, it's a charity,
without
so you
paying
can just like abandon a dog
$14.
outside, and like they'll do it.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm
it's-
incentivized to do, to just drop him off, tie him to a fucking post, pound it into the ground, and then just skid off on my fucking sick electric skateboard.
Like hog tie him and like leave him on the doorstep.
How
Exactly.
much time has this taken up?
Stuff
of your
an apple
life,
in its mouth.
Nate?
Well, I mean, this was like the week where. Oh, do you mean just like getting the dog, or since having him?
No, since having him, like how much maintenance do you have on this guy?
Very little, honestly. Very little.
how
It's
fucking-
been. I mean, he honestly has a great attitude. So like, he has not been up in my shit. He's been like hanging with me when I was like streaming the other day. He was in the room and like didn't cause a peep. He's been real good. He's barked like 10 times.
How fucking poor are these people like getting dogs from SPCA that they're like having to brace you for the news that it'll be $56?
Not to be overly
I-
condescending, but like honestly, there was a lot of poor people there getting dogs. So like I
Isn't
got
that a
the
bad
impression.
idea, economically.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100% yes. But like
Like,
also, dogs make you happier, statistically speaking. Maybe not Digi
Well, how
here,
much? I mean,
the old Grinch. but,
what do
you
you
know.
think? What do you think it costs like on a weekly basis to maintain a dog?
Probably
like,
a
it doesn't
lot.
really.
Honestly,
Well,
not a lot.
I mean, all
yeah.
you really have to pay for is
Food,
food,
yeah.
right?
Dog food is all you need, pretty much, and that's like I don't know, maybe up to $40, maybe $50 a week.
I have
mean,
no concept of
Whoa,
how
whoa,
much
whoa, whoa,
dog
whoa,
food is.
that's probably
whoa,
way
whoa.
too much.
Feeding your $40
Okay,
a
all
week
right.
to feed
That was a
your
retarded
dog,
guess.
dog
We
food?
bought one bag for probably $20.
I don't even eat
That's
$40
lasted-
of food in a week.
Okay, honestly, it's probably like $10, maybe
Okay,
not even
well,
that.
all right
Yeah.
then.
There you go. All right, enough dog talk. I wasn't trying to bore everybody with the dog talk, but
I like the dog talk. I wish it was
All right,
only
okay.
dog talk.
We're getting dangerously close
To dream
to
territory?
Yeah,
dream levels
to dream
of
levels. Yeah.
sheer what's the word? What's the word for when something
Irrelevance?
doesn't matter? Irrelevant.
I've,
Sheer irrelevance.
All right,
Yeah.
I've unbelievably uninteresting. Fucking CGP Grey has been. I've listened to his latest Hello Internet episodes, and he is going on a not a crusade. He's got a Operation Cyclops, which is
I'm aware of
to
what this is.
I'm not.
to cut
I mean,
out social media usage, podcasts, Reddit, and just generally internet usage that is clearly wasting his time and the sort of stuff that he checks without thinking.
good guy.
And
I like
Yeah.
I'm really into that. I've been into that for a while, but I've never gone like full force on it because I do kind of like, it's well, I mean, you justify it to yourself in lots of ways.
Yeah.
And then Digi
Sure.
was talking about like in that in a Let's Play or something
Yeah.
about a similar sort of thing.
Yeah,
And I'm
mine
like-
was inspired by M. Strange because I've been like watching a bunch of his vlogs, and his attitude towards social media is that he has never even bothered with it. Like he pretty much identified it as a bunch of horse shit from the beginning, and just like out of pocket makes fun of it, and is just like, yeah, it's totally worthless. And I'm like, this is a guy with a career as an internet content creator telling you that you don't need social media to do that. So Like, why am I tricking myself into thinking I do? You know?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I was thinking about all that stuff, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I could.
When you're in the paradox
download...
of needing to be social media plugged into a podcast to tell you to get off the internet and stop wasting your time.
Well, I mean, they talked about that in the Hello Internet podcast. It was like, well, what are you going to say to our listeners then?
Right, yeah.
But I think...
I don't think of a podcast as social media, though.
Well, not so... CGP Grey is more about, like, things that eat up his time that he could do.
Twitter, obviously, and, like, whatever.
For me, like, podcasts and, like, long YouTube videos, like, from the thing that I should probably unplug from immediately is, like, I'll start up my day... And I'll just start my day by, like, starting up some long, like, analysis video or something. I don't know. Listen to, like, start up an old, like, I don't know, Matthew Matosis or some... start up a Red Letter Media playlist or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it'll just go throughout the whole day. And I'll be like, well, I'll just leave it on in the background. I won't pay attention to it. But, like...
Well, then you get distracted by it and shit.
At some point, I start paying attention to it. And at that point, it becomes a waste of time.
That's why ASMR is great, because nothing in it is important at all. But just having sound is helpful.
Just like, is this podcast ASMR? Nothing in this podcast is helpful at all.
Well,
I recommend, Ben, instead of throwing on interesting analysis videos, just throw on needle drop videos. Because I almost
inherently
can't pay
uninteresting.
To those.
Yeah.
That is deeply uninteresting to me. So, like, I think even more so than you.
Yeah.
That would work. I mean, probably the best thing for me is to put on music. Like, when I put on music, it helps me focus. But I don't.
That's what I do. I
care
pretty
about
much listen to music constantly.
I can't, man. Music's too distracting. But whatever. It's not just.
What music are you listening to? Just listen to music that isn't distracting.
Fucking. Do you like my car? Yeah. You know.
Listen to Future Funk. Put on Future Funk and Vaporwave mixtapes.
Yeah, I guess smooth jazz or whatever.
This guy doesn't know shit about Sludge Fest. He's not even listening to raw, slow down Alvin the Chipmunks. He's not listening to Country Eyed Joe dubstep remixes. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
I was just start Hillary
Where'd you
Duff,
come from? Where'd you go?
Hillary Duff, come green night tour, put on autoplay and just let it go. Let it take you where it may.
Yeah, makes sense.
I've been I've realized a lot of stuff is just you have your house and you have your computer, and through that you get the internet and everything.
Yep.
And then, like, other things in your house are just not there anymore like they used to in old houses. Like, everybody used to have a piano. Everybody used to have like you know, more like, you know, you have like the family bike or like a set of tennis rackets or a football.
You know, that old slut they have chained up in the yard, the family bike. I hear you.
Yeah,
family bike.
Yeah, rider and all that. There's just not a lot of stuff in my room, and I'm like when I don't have the internet, I have video games, but I don't have, like, I'm not a toy guy. I don't play with toys anymore.
Yeah.
And I threw a lot of them away. So, like, what do I got to fill my hours with if not, like, editing or
thinking,
like leisure hours?
Thinking, yeah. And, sitting
thinking
in the thinker pose for hours on end, and you know.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I ask. I can't think of any reason.
Nate, why not?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
Nate, why not would you think with your brain to think about your ideas and who you are?
My ideas.
What's so retarded about
my
that?
ideas are too dangerous, Munchie. The world's not ready.
He needs to be distracted from them by material goods.
Right. Thinking, while that's funny to imagine just sitting down and thinking. Thinking in the shower is quite good.
I mean, I spend a lot of time just literally sitting and staring at a wall and thinking about what I'm gonna do.
Literally thinking while doing manual labor I find very enjoyable. While doing the dishes can be a very helpful time to think.
There's only so many dishes. There's only so many chores to do.
Yeah, I'll eat food so I can survive. Yeah, all right, Munchie. Just settle. Yeah, I'll drink some water. Yeah, okay.
What I'm trying to get at is that I've started to, like, right now get more into arts and crafts in a way that I used to like as a child and a boy.
You mean like macaroni?
No, I'm crocheting right now. I'm doing a little crochet, and I've realized my brother has, like, a bunch of, like, modeling clay, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna get some like tools. I'm gonna model something. I'm gonna make 3D models, but like analog 3D models.
Analog 3D models.
And like I kind of want to get like a
wristband you
wood
made
carving
me.
knife. Oh yeah, the wristband I made Munchie.
I haven't let anything happen to it.
I appreciate you going down this road, Hippo. I feel that I want to start doing something with my hands other than masturbate. Because like Dick Masterson talks about this all the time, that like as a man you need to have like a craft, because like it's just something that makes you feel proud of yourself for like having built something. And I kind of got a taste of that by putting together IKEA furniture, because
I love IKEA furniture.
Yeah, so I built a bed frame and this fucking mechanical desk I've got, and it was just like that sense of, man, I took this looked like it was going to be a pain in the ass, and now it's a thing that I literally use constantly every single day.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
What if I could just at any time do that? Like, what if I just needed something and I could just put it together and then have it forever? That would feel so badass, you know? I want it. Like, I think...
Being able to make things is a
like
great feeling.
I've always had like dreams of like making a fucking real suit of armor with something. Or like chainmail.
It makes sense for me, especially because I am so about like customization and like having everything be just right in my work environment, where like I'm always frustrated when I go out to the store to like buy a shelf and there's no shelf that is the shelf I want. And so it's like, what if I just, you know, blueprinted out the shelf that I want and then built that fucking shelf? And it would probably be cheaper than trying to buy one. I mean, it's not going to be as pretty, but it will be the shelf I want, because it doesn't exist, you know?
I have, like, fantasies of, like, having an office like Casey Neistat, which I consider, like... Yeah. Casey Neistat's office is like his reality marble from Fate Stay Night, where it's just, like, in there he has infinite power and infinite control over everything that's happening. Yes. He should be a Fate Stay Night character, and that should be his thing.
I love his office, too, and it's funny because... like, when you compare his and MKBHD's, like, it's two radically different aesthetic approaches to the same thing. Both are just very clean, very organized environments, but one is, like, about being uncluttered, and one is about being, like, immediate.
Casey's is so practical and immediate. I way lean towards that one.
I definitely lean towards Casey's, but, like, I don't even know if I'd want it to be so... ridiculously organized. Like, he holds on to stuff that he doesn't really need to. Like I feel as though he's so attached to having this as much visual noise as possible, and I'm kind of moving away from that, because that's how my old room was. Like, I used to just have anime posters covering every fucking conceivable surface of the room, and it was just like, because I wanted it to be like, you know, the old otaku room pictures you used to see. And now I have more appreciation for just like, well, instead of just covering everything, let's build unique areas. Like, let's think about this wall and what can we make it into, and like, not necessarily that it's austere, but that there's a theme or an art piece, so that it's like, it's not just a chord arrangement that's practical, it's like chords arranged to create something. Like, what if you you know, spiraled all your cords that are attached to the wall until like you formed a Pikachu head or something, you know?
This image is basically Digi's perfect environment, his perfect workstation.
That's actually pretty great. I would not mind that.
Digi, no, this is a nightmare. The whole point of this picture is that it's absolute hell.
I don't know. It seems pretty comfy.
See, this is what like my setup was. I mean, aside from the fact that it's in a basement, this is like what it kind of was when I was a kid. Like, just a TV on a box, and like you got a husband chair. This looks comfy as fuck. I mean,
a husband chair.
That's what that's called. Those are called husbands.
We got to link this one. This is a famous meme image of.
I literally can't even conceive of what's wrong with this. It looks comfy.
As long as it's like, as long as it doesn't stink and it's warm.
Does it say "rape
right.
sucks" on the wall?
And no one knows what that says. I think it says Ray sucks.
Oh yeah, it says Ray sucks.
Or is it might be Rare, as in Rare, who abandoned Nintendo to go work with Microsoft?
No, I think it's RAYE, Ray sucks.
Okay, I guess.
All they would need is just like some carpeting, like a blanket.
That would go a long way.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Look at like the fucking pliers on the ground and this like shitty towel.
Are these in the main?
He probably used
the walls and floor aren't good, but the actual furnishing is great.
I mean, I guess it's all right.
Is this this Jesse's? Is this the furnace room?
The furnace room actually looks worse than this. Like, this looks
That's
more
true.
comforting to me than the furnace room.
How low? How unfortunate.
I like the two bottles of water there. The two like jugs, like one's for drinking and one's for peeing in, and you just go back and
right
forth.
next to each other. And sometimes he makes a little mistake and grabs the wrong one.
Yeah, whoopsie! What little oopsie daisy there.
I mean,
he's got a great gamer thirst. He doesn't have time to stop and check which one he's grabbing and guzzling currently.
I'm fairly certain that the VCR is just sitting on top of a toolbox, and the pliers are sitting just outside of the toolbox. And I'm thinking he was probably using them for something with the VCR, because every cord you plug into a VCR is like an impossible fucking.
Wait, is it?
I suppose.
Is that a portrait of Iwata?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Toru Iwata.
Okay.
No
For
way.
former
That can't be what
president
that
of
is.
Nintendo.
No, yeah, it is.
Former
Yeah.
Emperor
It
of
is
Japan, Satoru Iwata.
You
They
tell me.
they love video games.
He's got a fucking. Oh, it's good.
I mean, Iwata's looking real good in this
Guys,
picture.
Real smug.
I'm thinking PCPHQ right here.
I hope we can get a setup this good in PCPHQ. For the love of God, let it happen.
Oh, I
All right,
think.
the
Okay,
links to
I've
these in the
studied
show
this
notes for
picture
sure.
very closely, and I think he's playing Twilight Princess.
I think.
I was
can't
wondering
tell.
what
You
the
might be
heck
right.
is he
You might be
playing?
right.
Because if you see those like 6 icons across the top of the screen, I think those are like the
Yep.
horse whip things. You know how like
That could be.
you hit your horse
Yeah,
repeatedly.
the Spurs.
Enhance,
Yeah, right?
zoom, enhance, Alexa.
Now, if you want to talk about truly being a poor boy,
That picture of Iwata.
you know, this is how this guy's gonna get out of the basement, because he has a GameCube copy of fucking Twilight Princess, and those sell for like a lot. He could probably refinance his house on that. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion's
Damn.
definitely on top of the stack.
Who said
I think
gaming
he's got
doesn't
fucking
pay?
Phantasy Star Online on the bottom. This is a true
How can you
gamer right
tell?
here. Because it looks
Damn.
like the
Yeah.
box.
All right, I mean maybe.
Maybe.
It's possible.
It's not like the bottom box is like a color gradient.
Yeah, that white
like
to blue
dark blue on
gradient.
the left,
Alright.
white on the bottom.
It's either like
All right, well,
Mario
enough discussion of
Sunshine
visual shit.
or Sonic Adventure DX or Phantasy Star.
Okay, all right. Well, all right.
Hey, does Iwata look a little bit George Costanza-ish in this picture to anyone else?
I mean, I suppose in general.
Oh, there's more pictures of this.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just found this other one from a slightly
Well, this
different
definitely
perspective.
confirms that it is Iwata.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. 100%.
is that
Oh,
like
he's got a
chicken-
Hot Pocket package, like, to the left of his TV in the second image.
I think it's like a chicken pot pie, like a frozen pie.
Something like that.
Oh wait, I do no. I see sleeves. I see Hot Pocket sleeves
Yeah, Hot Pocket
behind
sleeves,
the TV on the milk crate.
Actually,
Man,
it
this-
seems like it's
this
more
really
likely
is a-
he's playing Luigi's
Looking
Mansion.
at this space really is like a tactile experience. Like I can really feel what it's like to be there.
Yeah.
I really like tight
the
enclosed
spoon
spaces.
or the fork is like laying on the ground.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, that is gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like get a just. Like,
Put it on the
just
wall.
a towel on. It's a towel on concrete. Is
Yeah.
literally what he is.
Well, let me-
sitting on
In a
here.
dank basement.
I'm gonna go out on a crazy limb here and say, and this might be racist. This is probably an Asian guy.
You think so?
This is just on the
No.
basis of my
Iwata?
Asian friends.
Iwata, yeah.
Just
It's Iwata's gamer
their
setup, and he has a
houses-
picture of himself on the wall.
walls and floor aside, like this is exactly how my friend Donson would have been playing GameCube. Like
Yeah, okay.
towel on the ground, two full water jugs, like two
You
fucking
can tell it's
gallon
Asian because
jugs.
it's towel on the ground, not towel on the head. Important distinction there.
It's because the two water jugs lets me know that this guy does not intend on getting up. Like
That's true.
he is not going to stop this sesh. Although he also has a soda, but he probably just had that for his eating. Like he clearly ate
Honestly,
a plate of something.
Dude, the presence of those water jugs in that like neatly snug fitting box is the most interesting thing here. It tells me this guy is like serious about hardcore gaming.
Incidentally,
he knows he needs to fuel up.
What he has eaten is a banquet pot pie. You can see the box for the pot pie.
I
on
knew
the
it.
ground.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you can see the tin.
And there's
too.
also
you can
Hot
see the empty
Pocket things
pie
around.
tin.
This is a fucking hidden object game we're playing.
Yes.
here.
Yeah, playing Where's Waldo.
I just
with,
feel really
this
comforted by this
hardcore
image in
gamer.
a strange way. It feels like my childhood.
I know
It's
what
so
you mean.
warmly
I know what you
tinted.
mean.
Someone please like do a gif of Digi like phasing into this picture, like being absorbed into this world where he's finally at peace.
Yeah, it's
like
warmly,
old shitty
it's warmly,
it's like shitty setups for like fantasy novels where like the guy gets sucked into the book.
Exactly. It's an isekai. This is literally the Digi isekai happening in this fucking world.
an isekai.
I'm trying
God,
to
imagine like the opposite of like the getting sucked into the video game, where like the the video game character comes out and then plays the game, just sits there and plays the game that he was.
I was
in.
trying to.
Wow,
think
it's so
himself?
easy.
I think the box that's behind the chair is a Glad bag box, like a trash bags.
Trash bags. Trash
Yeah.
bags. All right, guys, enough on this fucking picture.
No, I love this. It's great. I want to go there.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah,
to be
we all
my
want to
base.
do
I
this
want to
man,
be a
to have what he
Minish
has.
living in this this guy's basement. You know what I'm talking about? The Minish from the Minish Cap.
Oh, yeah.
The
I never
Invisible
played it.
living in him from Arthur and the Invisibles, my favorite 3D animated family movie from the 2000s. Shout out to the guy who made Arthur and the Invisibles. I'm sure he's poor and dead right now.
Yeah. All right, team. What do we do? Should we go to questions now, or anybody else want to bring up a
I'm
topic
down
to
to
talk
go to
about?
questions.
How long have we been going? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Pretty close to an hour and a half.
Did you?
Well,
What's
like, I
this
got-
giant list of topics you've been talking about? Have you what have you written down?
What are you talking about?
Has he been mentioning one?
When
don't
did I
know
say
that.
anything about a list of topics?
You said earlier like that
been
feel
making
when you
an epic
stayed
list.
up all night intending to be on the PCP while making an epic list. Was the list
The
not
list
to,
has
had
nothing to do with the
it?
Probably
PCP.
unrelated.
I am just making an epic list, and that is why I've been up.
What constitutes an epic list?
All right.
I'm
What,
curious.
You want to hear about my
A list
list
of
that I'm
epic
working
films.
on?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
yeah, I do.
It is called
Is it a
Things I Want to Consume. And so
Number
Alright.
one, food.
So okay, you're right. I think Nate, you're gonna love this once I've explained it all the way. I think you'll actually be totally down for this idea. So, what it is a list of every piece of media that I want to consume, whether it's one that I haven't consumed before or that I want to reconsume, like so rewatch, replay. So far I've gone through anime, games, books, movies, and TV shows. So. It's just the columns. It's a spreadsheet. The columns are as follows: format, title, time investment in total, and time investment in pieces. So, for instance, the first thing on the list
sounds like Ululilia's Things I Want to Do Before I Die.
it's
list.
kind of like that, except not as autistic, just slightly less.
Well, that's one man's opinion.
So
Yeah.
so okay, like for instance, it'll say anime, Little Witch Academia, time investment total 7 hours, time investment in pieces 22 minutes, because you can watch 22 minutes at a time.
Right.
I'm also going to code it by like categorize it by like casual consumption versus like immediate. So something that you could just watch an episode of randomly forever.
I'm actually
versus,
way
like,
into this idea already. I already love it.
Yeah, because the idea here, and this is actually related to what Hippo was talking about. So I have a lot of these moments in my life where I just am not really sure what to do, and I sit around for like an hour trying to think of what to do.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I just go like, oh,
I
do I want to
feel
watch
that.
a movie? Do I want to play a game? Do I want to watch an anime? And it's like, I know there's like hundreds of things I want to consume, but
Yes,
like,
yes.
how do I fucking pick one? Like, how do I keep track? And then, like, a big part of it is, I don't know, do I want to like dedicate myself to a game that's going to take 16 hours, because like the first game that comes to mind is some RPG. So because I have this organized by time investment, I can just just say, all right, well, I want to spend 4 hours on a video game. So I just literally go through and find a video game that takes 4 hours, and I go, oh, I could play this game finally. And then once I beat it, it's fucking off the list. And so, like, making this list has been a really, like...
I imagine this list is growing a lot faster than it's shrinking.
Well, I mean,
Probably,
it's
but-
brand new, so it's yes, it is growing way faster than it's shrinking. However, I am
Yeah.
being extremely Spartan about this list. It's like anything that I don't think I actually want to finish is not making the list. It has to be like stuff that I'm like, yeah, I really want to finish this. Like, I went through my Mal and culled like shitloads of my on hold and plan to watch list where I was like, because there's a lot of stuff that you tell yourself you're gonna watch because you think it would be like good to have seen it, just to be like more worldly, or because like it'll teach you something about a creator, but you don't really care. So like, this is a list of just stuff that I like have a personal investment in, that I'm like, I want to see this thing through. And so creating the list, it simultaneously is a feeling of, man, I've got a lot of shit I want to consume, but on the other hand, it's like, this is all of it. Like, I'm going through everything.
Feeling.
I'm going through like every recommended chart on, you know, on every fucking 4chan board, like every rec chart, every like list I have of stuff I've consumed, and like anything I want to rewatch, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, you know what, I don't need to rewatch this show. Like, yeah, it was good, but I fucking remember it, and I'm not gonna get anything out of watching it again. I don't care, you know, so it's not going on the list. But so like, I'm at 437 items right now, and I'm pretty.
What is the total hours investment?
Oh,
make a spreadsheet.
I mean,
It
is a spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet. Oh, okay.
You might be able to get a little formula to figure that out.
Add up all the time.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
I might. I mean, it would take fucking forever, but
well, if you have a column that lists things in like the format of just a number, and you select the column, it should auto add them if it's in Excel, and then you can just see on the right.
Unfortunately, I have it written as like the number and then the word hours, and also the number and then the word min. Because I don't know why I feel the need to type it out every time, but it just makes it more readable.
Yeah, all right.
So, but like, yeah, I do organize it that way so that like I can just, you know, click the column and then look at all the 2-hour stuff and be like, oh, what 2 hours thing do I want to, you know, consume today? And the basic idea was not just to make it easier to pick out stuff to watch, but also to cut out all the dumb bullshit I do end up filling that time with. Because usually this is the time that I'm going to end up on Twitter, or I'm gonna end up on my Discord and just like talk to people for like an hour about nothing and none of it matters. Like, you know, it's just like literally I go there to waste time because I couldn't think of what I wanted to do fast enough, and this is easier. And
that's the main strength, I think, of this kind of list, which is why I love it.
What really got me on this was that M. Strange has this video called Be Your Own Dope Dealer, and he just talks about how, like, you know, all the systems of all the social media is just to make you have dopamine hits for everything that you click on. And it got me thinking about, like, what do I go to for dopamine? And it's mostly just the confirmation that people have consumed the thing I made. Like, I don't really care about likes or views or any of that shit. Ever since getting TweetDeck, which cuts my Twitter down to, like, I have a mentions tab that's available right when I go on the page, and there's nothing else there. No likes, no retweets, no other bullshit. It's just the mentions. And since having that is now the only tab I read. I don't actually read Twitter. I just look at my mentions, because I get enough of them that I can, you know, that can occupy my time. But it's like, why? Why do I care that people are mentioning me on Twitter other than, you know, a little ego rush of like, people are paying attention to me, you know?
It's the main one, yeah.
And I get nothing, like, even when, like, you can trick yourself by being like, well, some of my friends tweet funny stuff, or like sometimes people draw me fan art, and it's like, yeah, but that doesn't, you're just justifying this, you know? Like, that stuff is largely irrelevant. You could spend the same amount of time you spent reading that funny tweet doing something productive. And in my case, like, consuming media is productive. Like, it is something that will either give me ideas or enrich my understanding of the things I talk about, because my job is media analysis. So, like, the fact that I spend so much time on stuff that just is utterly inconsequential, I'd like to cut that shit out, you know, and just focus on things that are at the very least fun and enjoyable and like will have a lasting impact, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my big list.
I also have made an epic list kind of recently. Not for the same reason. But I just decided one day to like list every video game I have access to because I own in some fashion, like on Steam, or I have the physical thing, or it's on one of the consoles I own. And I googled, like, I made a spreadsheet, and then I googled for like a pick random thing from a list in Excel or Google Sheets or whatever, And now I go to that tab, and I just click on the little button, and it just pops out a game that I have and can play right then and there if I really wanted to.
By the way,
that's cool.
Just if anyone's interested in making a list like this themselves, here's your pro tips. For anime, my anime list will tell you how many episodes and the length of each episode. I just assumed for most shows 22 minutes, but in cases where I know it's not, I listed it differently. So, I just calculated the amount of hours based on 22-minute episodes. For games, I used How Long to Beat, which is a site that just tells you how long a game takes to beat. There's like the main story, and then main plus extras, and then completionist, and it gives you those 3 times based on user submitted times. I usually take about as long as whatever is main. And then for books, there's actually a site called How Long to Read that tells you how long it takes to read a book based on if you can read 300 words per minute, which I'm pretty sure I read slower than that, but I just went with it. And then for movies and TV shows, there's a website called Binge, or like time binge, something like that tells you how long it takes to binge a show. So yeah, you can find all of the fucking, at least a semblance of the data online. It's pretty sick.
I mean, it'd be helpful. I'd like to make one at least for like, I don't know, the top 10 things I want to consume right now.
Yeah.
And then just to have that so I can last night, me and we watched what was it? We watched this movie, Gerald's Game. Did you guys ever see this?
No.
It's a scary movie. It's about the one where the lady gets chained to a bed and then her husband dies on top of her and they're all like alone.
Okay.
But great movie, highly recommended. But then after that, I wanted to watch something, and I was like, I want to watch something. What's going on? I ended up watching The Purge. Like the first Purge, it was shit. It was garbage. So I really wish I'd done something else. If only I'd thought of something better, or sooner than I had that movie instantly. God, that movie sucked. But also very funny.
Also, another thing about actually making this list, sorry, Munchie, is that there's a lot of stuff that I am more encouraged now that I know how long it is, because like with video games in particular, people don't usually tell you like the exact length of games, and there's like a lot of games that like seemed like RPGs to me that go on forever, and I find like for instance, Fable is only like 12 hours long.
That's shocking.
Yeah, and like I thought about it, and I was like, well, that explains how I got so far in it as a kid, because I almost beat it as a kid. But
this idea of not knowing how long a game is, I own The Last Guardian. I've really wanted to beat it. I just like haven't, because I'm like scared it's gonna take a while. But if I know that it's like 5 hours or something, which it probably is, be way more likely to actually play it.
Dude, I'm gonna hit you up literally right now. It is 12 hours long.
Okay, all right, good to know. Thanks, Doug.
One of the things I did as soon as I made my gaming list is like I assumed that to beat like the average time would take to beat like every game on this list is like 1 week per game if I'm doing other things.
Yeah.
And then it would take like, actually let me check how many games there are. There's like 510 games,
Jesus.
I guess. So like 510 weeks, that's a lot of years.
yeah.
Like
that's
the
10 years.
prospect
That's
of
10 years or so.
I mean,
yeah, so like the prospect of buying a new game is like completely gone. I didn't have much of a reason to buy into like to keep up with modern games or to buy games or to do things, but like there's a lot of these that I don't want to play, but there's a lot of them that I do, and I think I've got plenty of stuff to keep me occupied.
I think the biggest shocker on the whole list for me was Mega Man Legends, which I had just, because I've only ever played like the first hour or so of it multiple times over the years, and I just had the impression it was an RPG and therefore long. It's like a 7-hour game. Like I could probably beat it in an afternoon in one sitting.
Yeah. That's always nice to know. Yeah. It's empowering.
Yeah. Because I will play a game in one sitting,
Try to make a list like this many times in my life, like 4 or 5 or 6 times. I've tried to, but I've just never. I've always wanted to have a mal, but for everything. I've never just like made a spreadsheet that was just Google Sheets.
I spent a lot of time a few
Mel
years ago.
My everything list.
I have like spreadsheets of everything I've consumed in each media that I made like a couple years ago, and I've tried to keep updated with, but not really well. Mal is a lot easier, obviously, but like knowing all the stuff I've completed, it doesn't like this. How do I put it? Like with anime, I had like the on hold list and the plan to watch list, and like that kind of lets me know like what's left out there. But like eventually, I go through the on hold list and I'm like, okay, half of this shit doesn't need to be in here. Like half of this is stuff that I like watched the first episode and went, oh well, this wasn't bad, so I'm not gonna drop it. But then like a year later, I'm like, I'm never gonna find time to watch that fucking show. Like who cares that it wasn't bad? It's not amazing. If it didn't make my fucking... If it didn't have my balls in a vice in episode 1, then it's not good enough to be, like, on the list of ultimate things I want to consume. Because even after cutting all the stuff I don't think I want, it's 437 items long.
Questions.
Yeah, okay.
Questions.
All right.
Questions.
No, but I was gonna say one thing.
Say one thing.
It doesn't matter. I just remember that, like, I looked into Buffy the Vampire, because,
She's
like,
not
Jesse
she's a vampire
says it's
slayer,
good.
you silly.
She's a vampire slayer.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, like, there's, like, 8 seasons of that, and every episode is an hour long.
Right.
Same goes
And
for
it's,
Lost.
like, it's just
Star
too
Trek.
much. Like, some of the seasons have, like, 20 episodes. That's just...
I can't believe I watched 3 seasons of Lost.
Was it good?
It's all right.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I didn't see. Or no, was it 6 seasons? I watched
don't
all
know.
but one. I watched all but one season. I
I
didn't
am
watch the last
consistently
season.
blown away by the fact that normies watch, like, entire shows. Like, that
They
they
love
let
it, dude.
watch, like,
They love it.
60 hours of a show in like 3 days, and I'm like, how do you even do that? Like, people think I watch so much anime.
You know
there
why,
is
did
no
you?
anime that takes that long
It's
outside
'cause-
of like Gintama, you know?
It's because fucking people, and this is fine. This is with me in League of Legends before. They go to work for 8 hours, they come home, they sit their ass down, they watch TV. That's what like every person in America does. And that's it's fine, but it's also gay. So that's
I've
Cut it out.
finally,
Cut it out.
instead of just standing at the brink of the abyss and just saying that I will soon, I've actually taken the plunge and I'm reading books now. Shout out
Too bad.
to Sarah Yowell. I hate your voice, but your writing's pretty good. I'm listening to on Audible. My aunt got me a book about Venice that I'm reading right now because I went there before. Haha, you remember, callback. And I'm reading books now. And it's quite nice. I highly
Wait,
recommend
but you said
it.
you're reading books, but you're listening to the audiobook, right?
Well, I just said that I am listening to an audiobook of one, but there's
Oh,
a Venice
okay,
book that
okay.
I was given that I am reading that.
Gotcha.
Physical.
Well, that's
And
cool.
It's great, and I like it.
Let's go to questions immediately, shall we?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about voicemails? Do we? What
Oh,
what
sorry,
we do?
I meant voicemails, of course.
Oh shit, I forgot about those. Fuck yeah.
We've got voicemails, people.
Yeah, they're sick.
www.com
It's cool as shit.
/ what is it? Speak. God damn it, I fucking forget what it is. There's a link in the description.
I don't think it's www.com, Nate.
I think it's iamgames.fun.
Oh my god.
I can't remember what it's called. There's a link in the description, so click on that, you piece of shit.
Did I just
All
hear
right, here we go.
Patreon.com Ben Slank groan at my iamgames.fun.
I did. What are you gonna do about it?
Suck my own
Yeah.
dick furiously in front of you.
All right, here we go. Here's our first voicemail of the week, people. It's time to actually give a shit. This is
Whoa,
this is
time
from,
perking up.
yeah, this is from Crunchy. Let's see what he's got for us.
Oh.
Welcome to the BCP experience. Prepare to become gay. Munchie is gay. Munchie is gay. Everybody knows that Munchie is gay. Munchie is gay. Munchie is gay. Everybody knows he's gay today.
This is making me nostalgic from when I used to make acapella songs.
I assume this guy's a killer.
Yeah.
What does the BCP stand for? It stands for petroleum.
Keep it going.
All right, that's enough. All right,
It was a trip listening to that because the techniques he used to manipulate his voice are like,
Yeah.
I've done them so specifically that I could exactly recreate it.
Okay. So I see this is from Crunchy.
yeah.
My housemates, they were asked about after the RFCK stream on Wednesday, twitch.tv/rowdyfrickers.compkillers.
Grown.
Yeah. They were asking like, who's that? They were like, who's that kid you were
that
streaming
kid,
with?
yeah, who's
Yeah,
that
that child.
kid?
Who is that? Who's that kid you were streaming with?
man now,
Stumpy?
buddy boy.
It's true.
They're like Stumpy. I was like, oh, Munchie.
Stumpy is
Oh my god!
Stumpy is Munchie's long-lost twin who lost an arm in the war and has a sick eye patch.
All
That's
right,
Stumpy.
Crunchy isn't funny. You know, all the different variations of Munchie, not funny. But Stumpy is
Stumpy's
fucking
good.
hilarious.
Stumpy's
It's
good.
Are you one of
it is
the
apt.
7 dwarves?
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
there was another one from Crunchy here that I think was better. Let me play that here. All
That
right.
one was great. What are you talking about?
Hello, PCP. I am Crunchy, and I have a very big problem with me boy, Munchie. He is too gay and too fat to continue to exist. He must be punished immediately. I have sent a missile from Cuba to his direct location, and unless he eats 5 cheeseburgers in the next 10 seconds, I will not disarm the bomb.
Munchie, hurry!
I'm ready to
Blast
die.
off again.
Whoa.
Well,
Munchie, do you have 5 cheeseburgers on you? Oh. All right. That's enough. Shut up.
yeah.
All right. Well,
I like this guy.
Yeah, that was a lot better.
now he's really a
Yeah.
redemption arc there for Crunchy.
He's ambitious.
He is ambitious. I gotta say, people, we want more than just basic bitch questions, and that's the kind of artistry I want to see on
That's
these
probably
voicemails.
AJ Shoop with a voice modulator.
Oh, you think so? Fucking.
You think?
It's some faggot like that. I can
Some
It's
some
not a
killer
voice
just trying to
modulator.
pull one over
He's
on old
just
Munchie here.
Voice modulator.
He's definitely doing that stuff in Audacity.
Well, it's dope, whatever it is.
I want to know how to do that, because that sounds like Daleks from Doctor Who.
Oh yeah. Well, they did sound cool.
God, I just can't. Just wonder when that missile's getting there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, keep an eye
Probably
on the
as
sky.
soon,
You got
probably
about
as soon as
7
the
minutes.
episode's
Yeah,
over.
probably right about then. Hey, here's another one from Bad Wife. In parentheses, no sexual connotation here whatsoever. Okay. All right. Let's see what she's got for us.
I denied all the warning signs, but deep down I knew I was addicted. The PCP is a drug I cannot live without. I tried to bring my husband down with me. I'd call, "Honey, I'm listening to the PCP right
It's her.
now." It's so addicting. Was it so wrong to want to share this fleeting joy with the one I loved? He was concerned, and for good reason. I procrastinated from my duties as a good wife for long enough. He claimed that I was not the darling he fell in love with and left. My friends and family followed suit. I listen every week. I cannot live without it.
Yeah.
Once a week for a few short hours, I can pretend as if I have people who still care
Yeah,
about
well.
me.
Oh boy.
The PCP gives me a reason to exist. I could not will his fate upon anybody. I could not
Rolling
stop.
my eyes at these
No one
hashtag
can
girl
help me now.
problems.
The PCP. It's so addicting.
Well,
I mean,
cool. Glad to get intro lady from PCP theme on a
bad wife,
voicemail.
no sexual connotations
intro
here
lady,
whatsoever.
noted lover of PCP guy, intro lady.
Oh, intro lady and PCP guy shipped officially now. Done.
Yeah.
It's nice that we're able to come together each week and LARP and pretend that women watch our show, and that we can come and pretend.
You know what? There was some lady. Shit, I wish I could remember her name. There was some girl
For
who
a
said
few
that-
hours each week, we can pretend that women watch our show.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some girl that used to watch our show, something like that.
No,
something.
she's
Machinima.
deleted. She's dead to us. There was like some message during the questions. I saw this a couple times. Some female person said like, "Hey PCP, here's my question. Are you ever going to acknowledge your female fans?" First of all, I was like, "What a terrible question that is. Acknowledge your female. What is that?"
This is why we don't
let's
acknowledge
just
you.
let's just velvet rope a little corner of the PCP to acknowledge our female fans. That sounds like a good use of time, and not at all
I didn't
patronizing.
mean for it to turn into this. I did not know it. I didn't anticipate
Nate,
for it to turn into
congratulations!
this.
One of our 6 female fans, you've just alienated. So well done.
Look, I'm just ribbing her. If she can't hit a little ribbing, then she truly isn't the rib from Adam that I thought she was. All right, here we go.
That's true.
This is another one from Cart. Let's see what Cart's got us.
Descartes.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen of the
It's too late.
Crastinator podcast. I just got a question for scenario. He
Oh, this is
always
awful.
Had trouble being
Yeah, let's-
an efficient human being, somebody who can operate on just a normal level of existence.
All right,
Turn
this
off
is
your
shit.
fucking
Delete it.
music before you make a call. Jesus
You know,
Christ.
I noticed in a lot of these voicemails, there were a bunch of people who like left music on in the background, possibly to get us taken down for copyright infringement, or possibly just
I
for
think
flavor.
it's just retarded.
Yeah, I think it was just retired too. Cart, be productive. Fuck you. That was a shit question. I shouldn't have played it. I regret that intensely.
I did not even hear
His
the
question was like some shitty phrasing of how to be an efficient human being. I don't know. Do your goddamn homework. Clean your room. Whatever.
Stop picking your nose.
Stop. Oh god, I was just picking my nose. Oh shit.
Go to church. Go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
Get the
one.
Pope to pick your nose instead.
All right, here we go. Here's one from Communist Best Guy Ever. Okay.
Hello, comrades of the PCP. It is I, Communist Best Guy Ever, also known as most same as everyone else guy ever. And I come from Alternate Universe PCP, CCC PCP, aka PCP Red Sun. And I come to deliver message.
Okay.
In my universe, in my alternate universe,
Tripping on his lines.
I do not post on YouTube. I am a government-funded version of YouTube, government-run, state-run version of YouTube, known as RedTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
red is glorious
RedTube,
communist
got
color.
it. Oh wait.
Okay.
Over here,
RedTube.
with more money owned because
an arc here.
it is workers-owned, we have more resources. So I make Viagra every day, and
Oh.
in my Viagra, I have
Okay.
talked about video about
Oh,
Gurren
Viagra.
Lagann, a great
thought he was saying
Japanese
Viagra.
animation. And
All right.
I
This
feel
sucks.
like the
In
show's
this
here
video I
is
see.
RedTube, and it's
Yeah, we're done.
Already
we
been-
get it. Very funny. Communism, hilarious.
Die.
There you go. Good.
RedTube, YouTube,
We get it.
Red Scare.
We get
got
the
it.
joke. Oh, you know what?
10 out of 10.
This message was from One Spar. This was kind of a public. He was the guy who offered the bounty the other day about for like the timestamps of the weird utilitarianism. No, it was Starfleet. It was Starfleet.
That was an entire week ago. Can you imagine? Can you believe that?
No.
It's hard to. It's hard to.
But that was 7 whole days ago.
That is
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Here he's an update. So let's just listen to his fucking update here. One Spar.
Hey there, PCP. One Spar again from the place.
Hey there, PCP.
Yeah, so I will admit,
Wrecked.
the criticism
You know
levied
how we're
against
always
me for my
complaining
bounty
about
in the last episode
Wait, hang on,
was,
hang on.
saying,
well deserved.
"Hey,
There
guys,
were
haven't made a
definitely some
video in
things
a
I left
while."
out. First of
Did
all,
you hang on? Pause.
yeah, the reward
Okay.
is credit. Not money.
Oh, the bounty is
You'll
credit.
do it
You're
for
a person who
exposure.
likes credit.
He's gonna pay you in
Do it.
exposure. All
The
right.
thing.
Okay.
Do the bounty.
Got it.
Second of all, get in contact with me. Yeah, don't get me on the.
All right, he's about to shill his
PCP
channel. It's
Discord
One Spar. Google it. You'll figure it out. But sorry, did you? What were you saying? What were you
Oh,
saying?
I was deliberately talking over him. But anyway.
Oh shit! I get it.
I actually don't even remember what I was fucking saying. Oh, just that like everyone keeps opening with like, "Hey, hello PCP, it's whatever," and I'm like, just get to the point.
Yeah, get to it. Get
you
to
know
it.
we
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
tolerate that from YouTube videos.
Don't-
Why
we-
would
I don't wanna
tolerate
hear-
it from voicemail.
Yeah, no, there's no need for preamble.
No.
And keep it
We
short.
know we
keep
are
it
the
as short as you
PCP.
possibly can.
I'll tell you, people,
Yeah.
if you record one, when I see one of these that is longer than a minute, I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know about that. So,
There's nothing in all of human knowledge that
But-
takes more than a minute to
But they have to
express.
pull out the time-tested comedic gold that is, hey, blank, I am blank, and then you can proceed to tell your joke, and it works
like,
every single time.
I'll read
right?
your name. I'll read your name. So don't even include that. Just say the question or get to the
jump
like that
right
guy
in.
with the robo voice was good. He didn't do shit. He
Just
got right to it.
imagine that you're like a drunk guy in the crowd. Like we're up on stage and you
Yeah.
are heckling us. You're just saying whatever comes to mind as loud as you can. Scream into the
I would
microphone.
say-
I'd
pretty
rather
much.
you do that.
I would say that if at all possible, try and keep your message under like 15 seconds. I think that
yeah.
99% of the time you can probably say what you want to say in like 15 seconds.
That's probably true. Work on it. Don't be afraid to do a couple takes. I don't
Like
give
that,
a shit.
that last voicemail could have been, "Hey, fuckface, all you get is credit, dumbass. Shouldn't have maybe wasted all your time. Go to my channel."
Yeah. One Spar's a good guy, but that's true. There was some ramble in there. So there you go, buddy. There's some constructive criticism for you.
I'm just saying that I made a lot of calls into the biggest problem in the universe in the Dick Show.
Right.
And every single time I just sat there and labored over what I was going to say for minutes on end to try to make it as funny and concise as possible. And I never got played, even though I tried so hard, because other people were even better. So, you know.
It's a hierarchy. All right, well, let's go to...
Also, because I would fumble the second I fucking actually started talking.
Fair enough. Ultimatum Juniper with another one here. What do you got? What do you got?
I'm supposed to have been working right now.
Okay, hang on.
4 years.
Okay.
And because of you fuckers, I've lost that time. Now, all I want, really... is compensation via the Starfleet brand of communism. You know the one. So like you guys would be like put in a isolated chamber.
Stop it.
Where you have to waste
Stop it.
your time.
Okay.
By doing literally nothing.
Wait, no, stop. Disconnect.
Stop
it.
Stop it.
I'm trying. All I want to say in response to that guy
up.
is that I ran the numbers, I did the math, and I'm pretty sure that if you listen to all of the PCP continuously, it would take like 8.5 days.
That's a pretty good chunk of time.
That's how much of your life we've stolen.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe he means like all our independent content too, and maybe he like quit his job so he could be ready for RadCon 3 and watch the whole thing. You know,
I mean, I know that my content in total adds up, including PCP, adds up to like a month and a half of total time. So
that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Digi, I recently made a playlist like that for myself.
Yeah,
I got like I got like 450 videos on that. It was more than I thought, honestly.
I have way less. Oh, I think you included everything in TBAP, and I just didn't go to the TBAP era.
Yeah,
so.
I did include everything in TBAP.
Yeah, all right.
Including Equestria Bound, which was like 100 videos.
Mine includes absolutely everything, even if I had like one line in the background. Like I put "you have to eat your greens" in mine. Like,
there were a couple things. I think I included Analysis Anarchy.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
I mean, you might as well.
That's good.
I didn't want to be thorough. I included that time that I called into Jesse's pony show.
Oh yeah,
and he took my. That's like the second video on the channel. It's not. I thought it would be the first time I was ever on YouTube. It was not. That was actually slightly after our first upload.
Word. Oh, that's dope.
Curiously
we got any more voicemails?
Yeah, here's one from Chillin' Chocolate.
Wait, wasn't
what?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, well, I was curious because I want to watch that video again. Which one did you call in to Jesse and you interrupted him recording a review or something?
I think it was the Daring Do one, but I'm not sure.
It wasn't early Horseshoe Reviews though, right?
It's the second video on my Every Video I'm In playlist.
Okay.
I thought it was like Migraine Reviews
what a time
capsule or something.
Maybe it was.
No, it's one of the mainline. God, what was the series?
Horseshoe
called?
Reviews.
Horseshoe Reviews. Yeah, it's one of the mainline Horseshoe Reviews.
That Phantom Horn's really big. All right, let's hear from Chillin' Chocolate. Let's chill and chalk.
Here's a song for Ben Saint. I'm sorry that it's out of my vocal range. You've got to eat your fat.
That's why.
Yeah, keto.
You've got to eat your fat.
All right.
It's not bad.
You've got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got.
Okay.
So
fun fact.
Let's let him finish the verse.
Your fat.
Right,
Pistachios and eggs.
Pistachios are too high carb.
Poultry thins your fat legs.
What?
Best
Poultry feeds your fat
almonds,
He's going for it.
blackberries,
He's warbling.
tomatoes and greens.
This is great.
That's the only guy that I respect from this bitch.
Yeah, I like him.
And lonely.
think we.
Should we-
Are we gonna listen to this whole thing?
All right, let's pause. Buddy, appreciate that. That was good, but that's long.
Can people listen to the full things of these?
You know,
Or do only we have access to them?
You know what? It is true. The way that we listen to these is they are all up on a SoundCloud where I upload all of them to listen to. Now I was planning to like delete them and just use them to hold them there because like it just works through SoundCloud. But like this Chillin' Chocolate is up on SoundCloud and can be listened to there publicly. If people have the link.
Good.
Let me just see if I can get the fucking link to the
Make sure
page
you
here.
get in before we have to start taking them off to make room on our SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh, you know, it's soundcloud.com/the-pro-crastinators. So if you go there, you can listen to that. You can listen to the whole thing.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I actually knocked myself out of ketosis this past week.
Oh, no.
And I think the way that I think it was, I did not eat any carbs. I think it was that I ate too much protein.
Damn you, Ben.
Because I went to the supermarket. I went to Wegmans, and I got like a deal.
Whoa.
I got like some
There's
kind
a
of
Wegmans near you?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the closest
fuck.
supermarket. Well, there's a Whole Foods and there's a Wegmans. The Wegmans is cheaper.
We're constantly talking about how much we miss Wegmans because Wegmans is the only thing in Rochester, basically, and all the grocery stores here suck compared to it.
Do you miss Food Lion?
No, Food Lion sucks.
Do you miss Kroger?
I would have
Do you miss
missed Kroger.
Publix?
I would have missed Kroger in Rochester if not for the fact that Wegmans is even better. But now I miss all of them.
Did you have Publix in Virginia Beach?
No.
Southern grocery stores are stupid and I hate them.
Shout out to Vons.
Anyway.
They need that.
They need the shout out from the PCP. They need that endorsement.
Wait, I was gonna say, okay, I went to Wegmans and there was like a big thing of sausage, super cheap, for like $2 and change a pound for this Italian sausage, but it was like, you know, expiring in maybe like 3 days.
Yeah.
So I bought it and I was like, I'm just gonna eat nothing but sausage for 3 days. I did. It was delicious. Ketosis completely destroyed.
Well,
I think I just ate too much protein and yeah.
Flew too close to the sun.
Yep. I flew too close to the sun.
Lost that ketosis.
God, that was good. That was good sausage though. So cheap.
I just realized that we're gonna have to go to questions after this. Why don't we just make questions not a thing and have them just all be voicemails, and that will weed out the weak who aren't going to be able to do it. Yeah.
Well, we've been doing fewer.
That's a
questions
thought.
lately.
Yeah, we've been doing less. Okay, my only thought on that is like, let's say someone just doesn't own a microphone, but they have like a great question. I'd like to give them away. You know,
that's
I
way
think
too theoretical. It's probably
Okay,
never gonna
okay.
happen. It's unrealistic.
People have
It's
phones.
just better.
People
It's an
do have
audio-
phones
we-
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
We should
I suppose
we should really like vet these questions and just pick out like, you know, the good ones.
Yeah, we don't vet them at all. I mean, I make sure that they're not like completely nightmarish before playing them, but that's about it. Yeah. Speaking of which, here's one from Ben Saint Publicist. Let's see what he's got for us.
So I goes to this website. You see, it's saintcomics.com.
No, what's he got?
And there's this story on there called the Vape Men.
Yeah, I remember
Vapor
that
Clouds. And I just wanted to give a quick review so that you could improve your featurettes in the future.
There's not enough weed. Very
So
funny.
I noticed in this story,
There's
you
no
got a
room for
guy,
improvement
and he's kind of sad. So that makes it a 0 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
And if you could just like post a revised version,
all right,
where
I
he's
think I've
not
heard
sad.
enough. Thanks for that, buddy.
I think he was onto something.
You know, sad boys. You gotta nix them. Gotta get rid of these sad boys. Makes sense. All right, let's do one more. How about from
Sadder
Actually
you are, the more
Dio?
bullets I fire.
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, actually, Dio, please don't just at me.
All right, everyone. The PCP is hostage at this very moment.
no.
If you do not get the Patreon up to 1,100 by the next episode, I'm offing one of the members. I'm going to pick
I
one at random.
volunteer to be hostage so that you guys will donate
It's just
more.
going
I
to be over.
volunteer to die.
I'm sorry to say it. You better reach that goal, or one of them's got to go.
Okay. Well,
I volunteer to die.
He volunteers to die, so he doesn't have to listen to any more voicemails.
I volunteer Nate to die.
I mean, well, he said it's at random. The choice is in his hands. We can volunteer someone, but it's really up to him at the end of the day.
Okay, this is not his doing. Yeah, he's subject to the whims of this, just like the rest of us are.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. Actually, the Patreon was above 1,100 before, but it's dipped down after the end of the month, which is understandable. But you better start pledging, everybody, or we'll be dead. So
yeah, I mean, your favorite, your favorite PCP member might be no more. On the other hand, your least favorite one might be destroyed. So I guess it's a coin toss.
You can either give a little today and keep a lot tomorrow, or you can give nothing today and lose it all tomorrow.
The choice is yours.
You've worked hard for this, viewer. Don't.
All right,
let it all
that's
go
enough.
waste.
That's enough of these voicemails here. Let's just grab like a pity
Yeah.
question or two and wrap this shit up, shall we? Let's see what we got.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
How about oh no, what do you no oh these are all shit. No.
Let me
This guy fucking posted a screen cap of a question too long to be posted in a fucking tweet.
Can you give me the cliff
The
notes?
Cliff
Can you
Notes
give me the
is
Cliff
like,
Notes version?
what are your thoughts on the value of a game reviews that are objectively incorrect? And then he goes on to say, reviews of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix are usually described as mindless button masher, blah, blah, blah.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, that's just.
I
not
mean,
gonna do.
I guess I'd say
It's
if it's objectively incorrect, I'm not a fan. Oh, by the way, that was at Karasu_VII.
Here's one.
Yeah.
Hey, here's one from Blue Nimbus. Questions suck. Why would anyone ever ask one?
This seems like we've entered a paradox with this question.
Iroxon says, will you replace the voicemail segment with questions? Maybe, but in reverse.
Wait, yeah. I think he probably meant it in reverse. Maybe? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think...
Batsling says, Chibi Baka's when?
Oh yeah,
Soon.
Chibi Baka's when? Soon. Munchie has an editing of one. There is one.
They're
recorded.
not that hard.
Am I allowed to
just
say?
haven't-
Am I allowed to say what
it's
which
about?
anime we want to watch?
Well, I mean, sure, but don't get people's hopes up. You weren't in the last episode.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't been on one yet.
Well,
Have
yeah,
I?
you can talk about what you want to do.
Sure.
Oh, I really want to do one for Escryed.
I
don't know
want
what that
this to
is.
happen. I think they will like it, and I
Yeah.
want it to happen.
Escryed is pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Especially if you're only
Yeah.
watching 3 episodes, because the first 3 episodes are strong. And
Wait, so is
yeah.
it supposed to be like scared,
No.
but instead of the middle, it's Escryed, squared.
It's like S.CRY-ED or something weird like
well,
that.
no, it's pronounced Sukuraido.
It's fucked up. It's bizarre.
There's a meaning behind it, but it's retarded and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I've looked
there's
it up
only one question in here that I think is actually interesting. Kajoro Bitterthorn asks, what's the most you've ever done to pamper yourself?
Going to Hawaii on vacation was a pretty big pampering experience. I mean, I didn't like go to like a spa, but like I feel like it's like the same sort of thing. That's probably the biggest I've ever done. Yeah. Yeah.
We've actually got a lot of questions in here.
Oh yeah? Are they good?
Are you guys looking at the questions
I was looking at the
bar?
Twitter.
That's where I pulled that one from, and that was the only one I found that I thought that could potentially lead to a funny story from somebody.
Yeah, I don't know about pampering. I guess I've been to a salon once to cut my hair because I had too much hair, and a barber wouldn't know what to do with
I
it.
don't pamper myself. I don't like it.
I want to
As
get a
long as
massage
I'm-
so bad. I've been thinking about getting a massage for like an entire year.
But then I have to get my dick jacked off at the end, and I just don't have to deal
Going
with that.
to a fancy restaurant with Nate was a pretty big pampering of
That was
both
great.
of us, of ourselves.
Shout out to Jack Ruby's The Precinct or something like The Precinct.
Yeah, I mean, because I pretty regularly pamper myself by just going to like expensive restaurants, which I would consider to be pampering yourself.
What is like pampering? Is pampering
Well,
like
yeah,
buying something you like? That it's expensive?
Pampering is like I've been pampering myself recently. Where I go out and I buy Pampers, and I really, I tuck myself in. I baby
Pampering
powder,
is you lay in a bathtub full of mud and you rub some green shit on your face and you put cucumbers over your eyes and you wrap your head in a towel. There's no other way to pamper yourself.
Pampering is just indulging in things unnecessarily for your own benefit /
You just treat yourself.
That's a good way of putting it. I was trying to get a dictionary definition, and it basically is that.
Urban Dictionary. It's time. It's time to bring it back.
Oh my
No.
god!
Let's do PCP pampering.
What do we got? Urban Dictionary. to pampering. All right, here we go. It is something you guys aren't aware of. Most gentlemen and older men know this. After a man and a woman are done with sex, the man gets up and prepares a warmed, wet washcloth by setting it in the microwave for 30 seconds. The man then comes back to where his partner lay and either passes the washcloth to her, where she wipes herself down, pampering and cleaning herself, or he wipes the woman down, thereby pampering the woman. Not only is this sweet gesture for your partner, it also prevents UTI and maintains cleanliness. That's the definition of pampering.
That is a very bizarre Urban Dictionary definition.
Why would you warm up the cloth after what I imagine would be like hot, like vigorous sex?
Maybe
like I want a cool cloth.
Well, I guess it's better for
sticky stuff.
Oh, okay, here's just a definition of pamper on Urban Dictionary. A word only ever used by women over the age of 40, meaning to treat or indulging yourself in beauty. There you go.
All right, well, I'm done with this question. Are we done?
Yeah.
We're done. Let's call it right here. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Hold on, there's something out my window.
What?
Whoa, well, there's some sort of like weird, bizarre sort of object like hurtling towards my room right now.
I'm sure it's nothing.
You didn't eat those burgers, did you?
Well, I mean, I tried, but there's pickles on one of them, and like even though if you pick them off, they still have like that pickle juice on the
Yeah,
makes sense. Patreon.com/the Pro Crastinators, people. $1, get in the chat, ask questions, etc. Maybe we'll keep doing them. I mean, we're still doing them for now, so don't fucking panic, people. But just go to the SpeakPipe. That's at speakpipe.com/PCB voicemail, I think. Check the description of the fucking URL. And $5, bonus episodes. It's like 16. 17th one will be coming soon, something like that. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. You're welcome. All right, we'll see you next week with another hot take. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.
A kaboom, and Munchie died.